Good morning, race fans. Welcome back to NOLA Motorsports Park. 2 days of action already in the books. It's time to wrap things up here for a very busy Sunday. USF Junior drivers on the grid right now, getting ready to roll out for a couple of qualifying sessions. Right after that, rolling right into race number 2 for USF 2000. We're expecting a wild day today here. 6 races on the docket, 2 each for USF Juniors, USF 2000, and USF Pro 2000. As I said, after this break, come on right back. The drivers will be on track for USF Juniors qualifying.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
And to handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
Yes, back here at NOLA Motorsports Park for a action-packed Sunday. And as you see those USF Juniors, as I had said, rolling out onto the racetrack, qualifying for race number 2 and 3 here today. And a big hello to all those of you around the country and around the world tuning in here on the USF Pro Championships YouTube channel or potentially on the app. This is the Continental Tire Grand Prix of Louisiana. It's going to be another warm day here. A little warmer in the morning than we had both Friday and Saturday. Already up to 68 degrees here. Trackside expecting highs of 79 or 80 on the day. A little more humid today, I believe, when we came into the facility as well. Some cloud cover yesterday and Friday. Completely blue skies to start the day, but some cloud cover here could change things a little. But again, big shout out to both USF Juniors and USF 2000 drivers yesterday because, man, green to checker racing to start off the 2024 season for juniors. Just a fantastic job. Getting a big win for Sebastian Weldon. Max Garcia taking advantage of some early lap chaos in the opening of the USF 2000 race to score his 3rd straight victory. Not quite as smooth through USF Pro 2000. A couple of incidents, 3 different yellow flags slowing that. In fact, we went red at one point to conserve a 3-lap battle at the end. But back at it here again for, as I said, a very busy day. A couple of qualifying sessions to start the day here for USF Juniors. We'll go more to that in a second. And then, of course, heading into a day of wheel-to-wheel action. Right out of qualifying, we head straight into the USF 2000 race number 2, followed by USF Pro 2000 race 2. So essentially 4 straight sessions here that will take us to around 10:45. Bit of a break and back with USF Juniors. Their second race at 11:25. Another break there. Of course, the Skip Barber Formula Race Series here with us at NOLA Motorsports Park this weekend. So they'll get their 2 events in today as well. After that break, 1 o'clock back again with race 3 for USF 2000, race 3 for USF Pro 2000. A little short break in 3:45. We'll cap it all off with USF Juniors once again on the track to finish things off. But again, qualifying getting underway here, and as we just detailed yesterday, different qualifying approach for 2024 for USF Juniors, mainly because a record number of drivers for us here this year. 26 in the paddock in USF Juniors here. Remember, bolstering up from the 15, 16, 17 we had last year. So super excited about the quality of the field, the size of the field, and again, the way those drivers raced yesterday, very impressive. But what we've elected to do for qualifying is split the 26 cars into 2 groups based on the official practice on Friday afternoon. Essentially, first in one group, second in the other group. So odds and evens split into the groups. You're not racing for overall pace. You're racing for your side of the grid. It actually worked out pretty straight up in yesterday's session as well. Liam McNeely with the fastest time, got the pole. Did not translate that into a race win, but we'll see if he does that today. You can see the morning haze here around the racetrack. It's a little bit hazy. You'll see when we head to the the drone shot, you'll see that as well. Get a really good look at the overall facility. The drivers are coming through turn number 12 here, over to 13, very important part of this racetrack. Back out to 13 onto the front straightaway. .74 miles, 13 corners. This track here at the NOLA Motorsports Park. Through turn 1, quick turn 2 as we're following one of the Inter-MS cars here. Jay Howard driver development behind. Up into turn 3. I'll reset the corner names a little bit here. Here's turn 3. Back over here to turn number 4. I was given a different map to leverage off of. So this is turn 4. I called this turn 5 yesterday because the map that I was working off of had 3 and 4. But this is turn 4. Drivers using this, calling this 4, so we'll stick with what the drivers are using. This is turn 5, then the kink there. Then turn 6, back part of the racetrack. Very fast part of the racetrack, turn 6. Back through 7, which is very quick, flat out in USF Juniors and USF2000. Maybe a little bit of a lift for the pros. And, of course, the 8-9 combo flat out, the right-hand, left-hand, 8-9 leading back onto that straightaway down into hard-braking turn number 10. This is a shot out of 13, down here to turn number 1. Carry a lot of speed into the apex of this corner over to turn number 2. For USF2000 down to 3rd gear. So just getting things rolling right now, Timothy Carroll up top for Jay Howard driver development at 139.996. Augusto Soto Sharipa on track. Good to see him back. They had an electrical issue yesterday on the Inter-MS number 24. I'm hoping they got that thing dialed in because you want to get Augie some time on the racetrack here. Rodrigo Gonzalez for D-Force driver development in 3rd spot. Evan Cooley in 4th. Evan started dead last in the race number 1 after going off of the opening circuit on cold tires over in turn number 6 and 7. So for him to be able to get out here and post the pace he had, because he put on a great show coming up through the back of the pack, getting himself up almost into the top 10. So Cooley for Exclusive Autosport. Joao Vergara there in 5th spot. Hudson Potter in 6th. G3 Argyros in 7th. Top 10 yesterday for Argyros. Anthony Martella now 8th. Sebastian Weldon, Alex Popov, and Diego Guillot have not yet posted a time. Second group waiting in the wings for their opportunity to get onto the racetrack. 20-minute session. Qualifying, of course, done and dusted for USF 2000 and USF Pro 2000. Second qualifying win in yesterday. First, fastest lap of that session set the grid for race number 2. Second fastest lap for race number 3. Although you can go quicker, as we always do. If you go quicker in race number 2 than your qualifying time for race number 3, you can use your race time. So that's why we don't have an official grid set for race number 3. If you had some trouble in qualifying, you weren't able to get a good second lap in, you're able to capitalize and leverage your quickest lap from race number 2. All right, a couple more drivers rolling out here we have not seen yet. Or actually, no, I think a couple drivers have come in and went back out, I believe, on stickers potentially. A couple of D-Force drivers coming in. Sebastian Weldon's gone to P1 right now. $139.582 for Weldon, $139.729 for Augusto Soto Sharipa. Evan Cooley, $139.9, as is Timothy Carroll, a 140.1 for Vergara, 140.1 for Martella, 140.2 for Potter, 142 for Gonzalez. Still no time for the Zanella Racing driver Diego Guillot in the number 12. The Texan is not yet, at least as I see, taking a lap. Yeah, I think a number of drivers held back. Those D2 D-Force drivers had not gone back in yet. I believe they're just going to come around and get things going now. We only have 11 drivers who put times down at this point. Weldon still on top, 138.7, got down to the 138s. Soto Sharipa now 139 flat. Timothy Carroll 139.5. Alex Popov, a very interesting story, of course, in the offseason. Got a chance to test with Exclusive Autosport at Sebring, but has been working hard to put together the budget to potentially start the season here. And it wasn't until literally Thursday afternoon that they were able to secure the sponsorship they needed to run, finding a third car with Zanella Racing. That car actually one of the Team Tonus cars. I'm told that the Team Tonus inventory has been sold. So we'll see whether or not we'll see the Team Tonus crew back next year. They'll have to retool, as all three of the cars they had in their stable have been moved, I'm told. But Popov then, of course, has never been here, did not run spring training here, so essentially used the test sessions. Didn't make the first test as they got the car finally dialed in first thing in the morning on Friday. Ran the 2 test sessions in the official practice session and was able to get a feel for the car, a feel for the track, and had some issues yesterday, but currently P5, 139.911 for Alex Popov, the Florida driver in the number 13. Weldon still on top of the 138.7, 139 flat for Soto Sharipa, 139.5 for Carroll, 139.6 for Cooley, and 139.9 for Popov. 139.9 as well for Anthony Martella. Joao Vergara, G3 Argyros, and Hudson Potter, 789. It was Vinicius Tesaro, Leandro Juncos, and Brady Golan who came out late for the 13 drivers in this group. I mentioned a couple of D-Force drivers were coming back out. I thought maybe they had gone in and put on new tires, but no, they just waited for the first couple of minutes of the session. Just over 9 minutes remaining here right now. Weldon still on top. Got that big win yesterday to start off his USF Juniors career. Skip Barber Formula Car Series champion in 2023 with that $100,000 scholarship. And again, folks, the Skip Barber Racing School is the official racing school of the USF Pro Championships, and they're inviting drivers to compete for over $500,000 in prizes, including a $100,000 scholarship, as I had mentioned, for the series champion to enter USF Juniors. The 7-weekend, 14-race series will take place at the most iconic tracks in America with high visibility and a pro race atmosphere. The Skip Barber Formula car features a 160 horsepower turbo engine, paddle shift 6-speed transmission. And you'll have a professional crew, expert instruction, video and data analysis, hospitality, and more. Sign up today at skipbarber.com. Season already underway for 2024 for the Skip Barber Formula Race Series, and they'll be with us for 3 of the events. Here, VIR, and Road America alongside the USF Juniors. So great to have the Skip Barber Formula Race Series here. We'll watch them finally get into some wheel-to-wheel. They practiced and qualified throughout the weekend, so we'll watch those drivers get at it. Some impressive young drivers in that Formula Race Series this year. Weldon on top of the 138.6. Soto Sharipa down to a 138.8, so he's only a couple tenths back. Cooley 139.1, so Cooley up to 3rd. Carroll 4th. Vinicius Tesaro now gets his laps in. He's up to 5th. G3 Argyros 6th. Vergara 7th. Popov 8th. Martella 9th. Potter, Gonzalez, Golan, and Juncos. Wrapping up the top 13 here with still 7.5 to go. Long way in this session. Other 13 drivers sitting on the pit lane ready to roll out themselves. This will set the grid for race number 2. And then, as I said, if you're able to go quicker in the race than you did in qualifying, you could use that time as well. .68 degrees here trackside, a little more humid as I had said. Good shot there, the back part of the racetrack, 8 and 9 down that long straightaway. We'll be leveraging the drone throughout the coverage here this weekend. We've seen a lot of great passing opportunities coming down this straightaway. The hard-braking turn number 10, you're flat out through 8 and 9. Down here into 10, we've seen drivers get side by side. Tough going. They all try to get to the apex of turn number 11. The sweeping left-hander leads back to 12. And again, USF Juniors and USF 2000 green to checker yesterday. The USF Pro 2000, an incident involving Ethan Ho early A mechanical problem put Lockie Hughes on the sidelines. That required a full course yellow, and then a late race incident between Adam Fitzgerald, David Morales, and I want to say one of the Jay Howard cars, it might have been. No, actually, I think it might have been Nick Monteiro, the D-Force car. Yeah, no, it wasn't Frankie Massa. They got together over in turn number 3, and that brought out first the yellow, and then we elected to go red to bring the drivers back to pit lane. We had the time, because that's the key. 45-minute windows for all of our races. 12 laps for juniors, 15 laps for USF 2000, 18 laps for pro, all within a 45-minute window. So if we have an incident like that, we can go red, get the thing cleaned up as quickly as possible, and make sure that we preserve the race laps for our drivers. That's the beauty of the 45-minute window. We were able to leverage that. We were able to get the essentially third lap was the warm-up lap coming to the green, and then 2 full race laps. Hunter Yaney able to hold off a challenge from Nikita Johnson. Nonetheless, a great victory for Hunter Yaney, our 3rd straight winner in USF Pro 2000. Max Garcia make it a little different in USF 2000. He's won all 3 races, but 3 different winners for 3 different teams in USF Pro 2000 this year. Lockie Hughes won the first race for Turn 3 Motorsports. Nikita Johnson from VRD won the second at St. Petersburg. And then, of course, for TJ Speed Motorsports, Hunter Yaney with the victory. Yaney's been super fast. That TJ Speed machine has been a rocket all weekend long. He'll start pole in race number 2. I'm sure has a pretty good lap time to lay down for race number 3. We'll have to, again, wait for those race laps to see if anybody improves. We don't normally see anybody use a race lap to go to pole in the second main event or the third main event. Normally it's somebody who had some issues in qualifying and is able to get a lap. They didn't even have a really good one. They maybe jump up over into the top 15, top 10, if they're lucky. Unless someone decides to put fresh rubber on, sacrifice race 2 to go for a quali sim, essentially, to move themselves up the order. It's not going to be good for a championship, obviously, if you're in a championship fight, because you've given up on one race to get a better starting position for the next. But if you're trying to get your driver up front and potential to win a race, that's happened before in the past. Those drivers bolt on fresh rubber and go out and do a quality sim, by themselves out of the back of the pack. I'm not a fan of it, but there are those that do it. Race times later on today. As again, we're going to go through qualifying here right into USF 2000. Green flag at 9 o'clock. Only about 45 minutes away, green flag for USF 2000. We'll go right in again to USF Pro 2000, 10 o'clock green flag there. Then the first of the 2 races for the Skip Arbor Formula Race Series to roll off at 11. We're back again, green flag at 11:45 for race number 2 for USF Juniors. 1:15 for the USF 2000, the final race of their triple header. 2:15 for USF Pro. 4 o'clock for USF Juniors to cap everything off. Lots of racing here today. And again, that's what it's all about for our young drivers here in this development program, right? Not only are they running for the scholarship money, USF Juniors worth $263,000 to move up to USF 2000, over $458,000 for the USF 2000 champion to move to pro, $681,000, over $681,000 for the pro driver to move up to Indy next and follow in the footsteps of Kyle Kirkwood, Renus VK, Stingray Robb, Christian Rasmussen, all the way to the NTT IndyCar Series. $500 up for grabs for the drivers here in USF Juniors for the Continental Tire Pole Award. It's $1,000 for USF 2000, $1,500 for the pole in USF Pro 2000. Jace Denmark winning that, $1,500 for race number 1. Hunter Yaney, $1,500 in the pocket for race number 2, and we'll see whether or not he capitalizes and makes it $3,000 total. Another $1,500 for race 3. Weldon, Tesaro, Soto Sharipa, Cooley, and Carroll, your fast 5. About 0.4 of a second quicker, Weldon over Tesaro. That's kind of what we saw yesterday of McNeely over Tesaro. Liam McNeely was in the first group yesterday. They've shuffled the groups a bit here for Sunday. Weldon, DeSaro, Soto Sharipa, Cooley and Carroll top 5. Popov in 6th. Martella in 7th. Hudson Potter 8th. G3 Argyros 9th. Leandro Juncos in 10th. Joao Vergara 11th. Brady Golan 12th. And Rodrigo Gonzalez in 13th. About 1.6 seconds separating the group. USF 2000 yesterday for a while was less than a second. All 20 drivers. Such a competitive field. Juniors, Pro, 2000, also competitive this year. There's Evan Cooley in the exclusive Autosport machine, currently in the 4th spot, number 91, the ITI Intermodal entry. G3 Argyros, Anthony Martella. Yeah, we're coming down to the last couple of seconds, so we're going to see the checker flag on the back straightaway here momentarily. The driver's coming out here now, may just sneak it in. No, checker flag flying, so everybody coming down the back chute. That's it. Final circuit here. Cooley matches his time but doesn't quite get it. Anthony Martella jumps up into the top 5. 139.258 for Martella. His last lap, his best. Martella goes up into 5th. Tesaro turns his fastest lap, not enough to take the spot away from Weldon. But it's Weldon, Tesaro, Soto Sharipa, Cooley, and Martella, your current top 5. Still one more driver coming on the track. I believe one of the D-Force cars coming across still. Leandro Juncos jumps up to 7th on the final circuit. Brady Golan not able to go any quicker, but he does match his 139.7. Golan in 12th. But Weldon will take the provisional pole here to start things off. 138.357 again. The fastest driver starts his entire group on the inside line. Everyone else on the outside line, obviously, from the other group. But Weldon a 138.3 to start things off. Tesaro, he'll start in the front row for sure. Inside or outside, we're not sure. One driver just blew the checker. So whoever that was who just came by again is going to lose a lap. Yeah, that was Brady Golan. Blew through the checkered flag and has done another lap around here. So Brady Golan's going to get a penalty for blowing the checker and taking the extra lap. Sebastian Weldon, 138.357. P1, Tesaro in 2nd. Soto Sharipa 3rd. Cooley 4th. And Anthony Martella, the young Canadian, finding some speed, able to jump up into P5. So it'll be a row 5 start for Martella inside the top 10. He'll be happy with that. But there's the driver putting it on the pole, at least provisionally right now. Pole for his group, the number 98. Group 1001, Gainbridge Andretti Global VRD Racing entry. That is Sebastian Weldon, coming off the win yesterday. The momentum and the confidence playing well for the young Floridian. We'll see how it all plays out, though, because still another group to come. We know we got some young guns who are quick. Liam McNeely put it on the pole yesterday. Watch for him to potentially go up top. Jack Jeffers still ready to roll here as well. Remember, we had some good racing here at USF Juniors yesterday, so we'll see how it plays out. Still a lot of guns to come at it. Aiden Ingrata had a good run, top 10 yesterday, focusing on making sure he gets the laps he needs, so he could be a driver who steps up a bit here. I wouldn't put it past the number 55 of Leonardo Scorpioni either to be up into the top 5. Actually, one of the most impressive drivers yesterday from Israel was Ariel Elkin for Inter MS. He has a definite shot to go to P1. He got some great speed yesterday. So those are some of the drivers I think we need to be watching here right now. Jeffers, Elkin, the two primarily, I think, to watch along with Liam McNeely. So the 3 drivers I would expect to be up top. I'm just going to make that shot now. Those are the guys to watch right now, I think. Liam McNeely, Ariel Elkin, and Jack Jeffers, probably the 3 drivers that we'll see potentially go for the pole position here. 138.357, the time to beat, to see if this second group will start on the inside line. Remember, I said that we didn't have the number 12 of Diego Guillo. We had him on the list on the qualifying, but they pulled him off. He is right there. That's the Zanella Racing machines there. You see Naka Zanella, the team owner. I've been doing this for a long time, and you look back to the days when I remember Jose Zanella running in the Junior Intercontinental A Series, the JICA program back in karting. He was a top national karter here in the U.S., won a lot of races, a very talented driver himself. Now a major player in national and especially Florida karting. Has his team, Zanella Racing. They're actually in competition this weekend at the United States Pro Kart Series event at Speed Sports Racing Park in Texas. A number of the drivers here in USF Juniors have run in that quality USPKS series. But Jose, not only does he have a team, builds engines, and expanding into USF Juniors this year. Big move for him, but again, like a lot of business owners, team owners, you want to keep expanding. You see the growth of USF Juniors and how it's happened over the last year. We've seen a number of people jump on board. We'll see a couple more teams potentially come in next year as well. So the growth of USF Juniors continuing. And yesterday's green to checker race just showed the quality of the drivers and the respect they have for, number one, our race control and just what we expect as a series. There's the number 19 as well, Patricio Gonzalez out of Mexico City, Mexico, the D-Force Driver Development Program. Kiko Porto there sitting on the fence, one of the driver coaches at D-Force this weekend. They've got a number of great driver coaches here this week. You talk about the people we have. Exclusive Autosport has former USF Pro 2000 champion and Indy Next winner Louis Foster here as well. Oliver Askew, two-time USF Pro Championships champion in USF 2000 and Indy Next. He's here. Nolan Siegel here with D-Force Racing as well. Charles Cruz has been around the sport for many, many years. Top prototype sports car driver running in the European Le Mans Series. He's with D-Force. A lot of great coaches. Look at these tents here this weekend. Trouble here for the number 6 of Aiden Potter, the 16-year-old of Brentwood, Tennessee, coming up pit lane and literally does not get onto the racetrack. Just past. He's waving his hands in the air. There's trouble for the number 6 of Aiden Potter. Car coming to a stop, just not even to the end of pit lane at this point. We've got yellow up into that corner. We'll see whether or not the crew can get up here to him. I'm not sure how they're going to handle this at this point. He'll try to see if he can get that car refired. But there's a great, we'll have a look at him momentarily. You'll have a look when they come back around. All drivers still warming these tires up, getting some heat built into these Continentals. Some of the drivers rolling out with fresh tires, holding that set for qualifying. One of the differences, 2 sets of tires for the whole weekend, plus the carryover set. And different to the USF 2000 USF Pro, where you can only use the carryover set of tires for the official practice session. In USF Juniors, you can use those carryover set for the entire weekend. So we kind of limit the amount of tires and the budget you'll need to run the program. Only 2 sets of fresh tires on the weekend, but you're able to use that carryover set whenever you want. So normally with the carryover sets, teams will do a test at a race or whatever it may be and just lightly scuff them, do a couple of laps, 3 laps on them, and that's the carryover they bring in. So it's a high quality tire still. Although later in the season you're carrying over a race set, so those tires are a little bit more used up. But early when we have a test like this, we do let the drivers or teams use the test tires as well. So the number 6 of Aiden Potter still stranded here at pit exit. Unsure exactly how they're going to handle that, whether they'll go yellow or... No, I think the AMR IndyCar crew is just going to come down here and try to pull him back. He's still covered by the outside of the track just past the start-finish line and the control tower here. So they'll just try to push him back out of harm's way. If they get him back far enough, they may be able to get him back. The team may be able to come up here and get him as well. I don't know if any of the team has worked up here to try to push him back. But our AMR crew doing a great job getting him pushed back onto pit lane again. All right, so next group on track. Here we go, getting things rolling. 20-minute session. coming out here late as well. I think that was Guio, and the number 12 came out here late. Going to catch up a couple of guys that are behind him, but again, opening laps here. Jack Jeffers for Exclusive Autosport with the fastest out lap, but we'll see what happens by the end of the session. Obviously, we know the driver's going quicker and quicker late in the runs, so lots of time here in a 20-minute session. Although time winding down to our first wheel-to-wheel action of the day for USF 2000. Remember, green flag set to go at 9 o'clock. That's a half an hour away. We're going to have a solid show here to start off the day. A couple of qualifying sessions for USF Juniors right into the races as well. Leonardo Scorpioni now to the top with a 139.221. The Zanello Racing driver who won one of the Academy Winter Series races back in February. Max Taylor up into second, Jeffers third, Christian Cameron fourth, Ethan Ingrata fifth. A couple drivers still rolling out here onto the track. The 16 of Bruno Ribeiro just coming out on track now. We talked about Diego Guio waiting a little bit. Only 11 drivers on the racetrack at this point. 2 more still to come. Add in Ribeiro. That's 12, so 1 driver still has not yet shown. I think it's Ariel Elkin. No, he's on track. Elkin is on track as well. So USF 2000, again, their race getting set. They'll be onto the false grid over the next 15 minutes. Yeah, they've already opened the false grid for USF 2000. And they'll get released at about 8:50. That time we can get set to do some driver introductions for you. They'll fire engines at around 8:55. And we go green flag racing at 9. 15 lapper within that 45-minute time window. We'll see how that one steps up. If Max Garcia can stretch that championship run to 4 wins to start the season. You got to go back to Christian Rasmussen in 2020. The last time somebody won 3 straight races to start the season in USF 2000. We know how that played out for Rasmussen. Although he almost lost a championship lead at one point midway through the season, he did come away with the title. That was during the COVID year of 2020, where we started late in the run and just knocked out a bunch of races through July, August, and September, into October, in fact. Liam McNeely now on top, 139.012. 139.012 for McNeely. But you got to go low 138s to take the time away from Weldon. Again, drivers just getting started here. Still 12 minutes remaining in the session. 138.3 fast time for Sebastian Weldon, provisional pole from group number 1. So still a long way to go for these drivers to get the pace they need. Full group now onto the racetrack. No, it's still 12. We're still missing the 13th driver. Max Taylor goes 138.8. First driver to get below the 139s. Taylor in the 33, doing double duty here this weekend for VRD Racing. Liam McNeely second, Jack Jeffers third, Ariel Elkin fourth, Leonardo Scorpioni in fifth. Taylor definitely one I missed out of that top three. He was obviously very quick yesterday on the podium. So he could be a driver potentially going for P1 here. I mentioned to Scorpioni, he's in fifth right now. Max Taylor up top, though, but still, again, if these guys want to steal the pole away, they're half a second off still. We're still burning off fuel. We'll see whether or not anybody makes a pit stop during this session. Taylor with about a 10th and a half on McNeely right now. McNeely, the J. Howard driver development pilot from London, England. Third last year of the GB4 series. Great to have him here with us. We've had a number of great Brits over the last couple of years be part of the action here in the USF Pro Championships. Louis Foster being one. We talked about him coming in a couple of years ago and running in the USF Pro 2000 category with Exclusive Autosport, going on to win the championship there in USF Pro. Now a race winner in Indy Next, most definitely one of the title contenders alongside Nolan Siegel in the USF, or rather in the Indy Next series. Jacob Abel here as well, one of the drivers, a veteran of the USF Pro Championships, now running in the Indy Next series. He's looking for that first breakout victory, which will surely come in 2024 for Abel Motorsports. McNeely now on top with a 138.5. Taylor 138.6. Elkin 138.9. Jeffers 139 flat. Ingrata up to 5th. Ribeiro 6th. Scorpioni 7th. Cameron 8th. Gonzalez 9th. Dobson, Suko, and Guio. I feel like we're missing one driver right now. We are. Aiden Potter, Rob, didn't get onto the racetrack. Indeed, Aiden Potter, who had the issue and did not get out of pit lane, has not yet got back. So there you go. If that mechanical could have been terminal for him, not been able to get back even one lap. So there, let's play to the fact that we talked about race number 2. Fastest lap of this qualifying session is race 2. Fastest lap for, or qualifying for race 3, you can use your fastest race lap. So Aiden Potter is going to be able to use his fastest lap of race number 2 for race 3. So it's not like he's going to start dead last in both categories. If he gets a good lap time, he may be able to jump up a couple of spots. Still 8.5 minutes remaining. Taylor goes back with a 138.4. Going to have to get down to a low 3 or a 2 to steal the pole position away. Max Taylor, New Jersey driver, laying it down nicely here. 138.466. McNeely, Elkin, Jeffers, Ingrata. Bruno Ribeiro now up into the 4th spot. Move Bruno in there, the Brazilian for D-Force Racing. He'll go to 4th. Man, stacked group here. And indeed, we're doing our second qualifying session. We don't get a chance to do that a lot. Anytime the USF Pro Championships program is with IndyCar, we're limited more on the amount of track time that we can get. Obviously, 6 sessions officially here on the weekend with practice, official practice, 2 official qualifying sessions, and 3 races. 6 sessions on the racetrack. It's our own weekend here, standalone weekend for the USF Pro Championships, so we're having the opportunity to do that. When we ran at St. Petersburg, it was only 4 sessions. So we ran practice, 1 qualifying, 2 races. So the opportunity here on a standalone weekend to get a lot more track time for our drivers. Taylor, McNeely, Elkin, Ribeiro, Jeffers, top 5. Ingrata, 6th. Scorpioni, 7th. Cameron, Suko, Gonzalez, Dobson, Guio. 138.466 for Max Taylor. Here comes Jack Jeffers. 139.1. He does a 138.9, so he's now into the 138s. Jeffers a 138.92, about a half a second off of Taylor. 138.927 for Jack Jeffers in the 92. Again, folks, we go straight into USF 2000. Liam McNeely now to the top, 138.438, only 300ths quicker than Taylor. It's an off-pole start, but not enough to take over the inside front row, the outright pole position. Remember, they're also racing for $500 cash for the Continental Tire Pole Award. $500 up for grabs. McNeely already has $500 from yesterday. 138.438. He's going to need a couple of tenths. Maybe just a tenth and a bit. I'm not exactly, I didn't get right down exactly what Weldon's time was. They're all pushing. McNeely, Taylor, Elkin, Jeffers. Jeffers went quicker, as we said, a 138.9. Here he comes again down the back straightaway. Let's see if he's got anything else this time. Does not go quicker. 39 flat. Here's a shot coming out of 7 through 8 and 9. The flat out turn 8 and 9. Right-hander, left-hander, 9 leading onto the straightaway. There it is there, all the way down to from 9 to turn 10. Hard braking. You see the bump right on the inside. You see the car kind of transition through. That's the 55 of Scorpione. Neely still a 138.4. Again, good enough for the front row, but not the pole. 138.3 for Weldon. The Zanella Racing Machine of Guio, number 12. Then the 9 of, I believe, Liam McNeely right there with him. And that one of the drivers checking up a bit is Ribeiro coming down the straightaway in the number 16. Yeah, McNeely's still on top. Still 4 minutes to go. McNeely, Taylor, Elkin, Jeffers, Ribeiro, top 5. Top 8 drivers within a second. Pretty much the drivers I expected on top, with the addition of Max Taylor. Max P2 right now in the 33. Again, 0.03 of a second back, not much. Is anybody going to have just that little bit left in the tank to potentially grab that pole away from Sebastian Weldon, who wants that bonus point? Got the season off to a strong start with the victory in race number 1. Got by early and then let the chaos happen behind him. They all raced behind him. Taylor was on full defensive, trying to hold off his challengers. And that allowed Weldon to stretch away. Three minutes remaining in the session. We saw some late session heroics from a couple of drivers, and we're in Group 1, Anthony Martella being one, going to P5. But top 10 start for Martella for sure, inside or outside. Potentially right now inside of row number 5. One driver into pit lane. You got to figure that'll be it. You're not going to get into pit lane, making the adjustment to get back out with less than 3 to go. McNeely's still 138.4. So close, right? Just a couple of tenths of a second away from pole. Trying to go back-to-back pole positions, the Brit for Jay Howard Driver Development in the number 9. Acclaim Contracts, Wolf International, the sponsors on the 17-year-old's car. It's quickest here at spring training back in February. Still no changes, top 5. McNeely, Taylor, Elkin, Jeffers, Ribeiro. At this point, though, that would be the outside of the grid, 1 through 5. Leonardo Scorpione and Christian Cameron both turning their best laps. 139.1 for Scorpione, 139.4 for Christian Cameron. A couple of drivers have headed to pit lane, but most drivers still on track, pounding out these laps, trying to find that little bit more. Car keeps getting lighter and lighter. These Continental tires holding consistent. Will someone find the speed in the last couple of minutes? minute and a half remaining, not even quite that. Yeah, everybody coming onto the front straightaway, maybe this could be their final lap. Remember, checker flag will fly on the dot at 0 as they come down the back chute, the timing line just before the braking zone of turn number 10. McNeely still 138.4. Majority of the drivers have put 10 laps in. Ribeiro was late getting on. He's only got 7 laps. Guillo was late, as we know, held in the pit lane for a little bit. He only got 8 laps so far. McNeely at one point, I think, checked up to try to get some open racetrack. Here comes Jeffers again down the back straight. 139.0 was his last lap. He does a 138.98. Couple of hundredths off his best lap, so another 138.9 for Jeffers, but he's got a half a second if he wants to go P1. Checkered flag being thrown on the back straightaway now, so that's it for a number of the drivers coming across the line. Jay Howard, Zanella, Ariel Elkin as well, I believe. One of the Inter-MS cars coming into the line. They do not go any quicker. Both Jeffers and Ribeiro did, but Jeffers still on the racetrack. I don't know about Liam McNeely. Christian Cameron still out there for one more, currently P8. Number 5, Ava Dobson. I don't know whether she blew the checker or if she's just the last person to sneak through. That's a possibility. The 12 of Guillo. I think he definitely blew the checker. He was coming around again. He was one of the last guys to come through. So both Ava Dobson and Diego Guillo, a runner as they call them, did not heed the checker to come to pit lane. There are a number of drivers still on flyers out there now. Jack Jeffers being one. He'll come out of turn number 8 and 9 right now. Coming down. Jeffers looking for more. Can he find a little bit? He got quicker last time. He does not. 138.9. 3 consecutive 138.9s, but still a half a second off the pace laid down by Liam McNeely. Here comes Christian Cameron for one more as well. 139.4, his best lap time. No improvement there for Cameron. So indeed, that's going to set it outside of the front row starting spot for Liam McNeely in the number 9, 138.438. McNeely not quite as quick as Sebastian Weldon, so Weldon coming off the victory in race number 1 to score the Continental Tire Pole Award. $500 for the pole for Sebastian Weldon, and more importantly, the inside front row starting spot for race number 2. In this session, McNeely ends up in P1, about, let's say, 300ths quicker than Max Taylor. Taylor will be on row 2, outside of row 2. Elkin on the outside of row 3. Jeffers outside row 4. Ribeiro on the outside of row number 5. So juniors drivers will work their way back to the paddock as we're just a couple of minutes away from getting things rolling here with USF 2000. Indeed, right out of qualifying, right into the first race for the USF 2000 drivers. We'll clear this pit lane. We'll get the drivers in USF 2000 out there as well. They're set to roll onto the grid here in about 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere, folks. Qualifying just got things underway. We're going wheel to wheel after this. USF 2000 and the Continental Tire Grand Prix of Louisiana will continue after this break.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
started to careers on the line with the race chapter. I think everybody's goal is to win a championship.
All this year is playing together and making a good championship season out of it.
The reason to keep me alive and the reason to keep me pushing.
I mean, a lot since I can keep going up the ladder. Seeing all those champions and wanting to become part of that list.
The drivers are racing aggressive with me, I'll race aggressive with them.
The scholarship is incredibly important. It's obviously the goal for every driver.
I'm going to rewrite what happened last year in terms of that rivalry with him getting the best of me.
When you win a race, it's the best feeling ever.
The field is stacked.
Hopefully this year we can have good luck.
Having the scholarship money to move up next year is really all I'm aiming for.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
There you have it. As I said, ladies and gentlemen, right into it once again as the drivers in USF 2000 have rolled onto the grid. USF Juniors back in the paddock, and we have ourselves two back-to-back races here to continue things in the morning as our drivers in USF 2000 and USF Pro 2000 ready to head out for race number 2. And you can see him right there on the front row, the number 24 of Max Garcia. 3 straight wins for Pabst Racing. He'll start up front, but we're going to start at the tail of the field, go back to front as we line things up to you here. Row number 10, we'll have Cole Kleck, the Texan out of San Antonio, Texas, and the number 14, the rookie driving for DD Autosport here this week in a single-car effort for Cole Kleck. He'll start in the 20th position alongside D-Force Racing's Maxwell Jameson in the number 12. That is P19. Row number 9, Tanner DeFabis in the J. Howard Driver Development number 9 machine. The rookie starting 18th alongside fellow rookie and fellow Indianapolis, Indiana resident Ayrton Hauk for DC Autosport. Hauk in the number 58. Up now to row number 8 on the outside from California. Ayrton Hauk's DC Autosport teammate Carson Etter. His first full season running here in USF 2000, the California in the 57. Some good qualifying runs for both Hauk and Etter on the weekend. Watch for them to look solid here throughout race 2 and race 3. They'll work forward. Then we'll move, of course, to the inside of row 8 alongside Carson Etter is Xavier Kokai, the Australian, for VRD Racing in the number 19. Significant F1600 experience. Kokai making his first weekend, or first year rather, here in the U.S. with us here in the number 19. Row number 7, Brady Golan. Second-year driver in USF Juniors, but potentially double duty all year long in USF 2000 and USF Juniors. So Brady Golan, the Texan, in the number 18 for D-Force Racing. Right out of the car from qualifying, right into the USF 2000 car to go racing in the number 18. He'll start alongside his teammate D-Force Racing's Quinn Armstrong, another one of the Australians in the field here, a rookie this year, second last year in USF Juniors, a race winner in Juniors as well. Armstrong in the number 11. A couple of really strong runs at St. Petersburg. 2 7th-place finishes, took care of the car. 6th place in points coming into the weekend. We'll look more at the points as the day goes on. He'll start on the inside of row number 7. Row 6, Lucas Facuri is the D-Force Racing drivers all around each other, 12, 13, and 14. Facuri, the rookie from Brazil, the number 10, starting on the outside of row number 6. And on the inside for J. Howard Driver Development, the number 8 of Michael Costello, a top 5 at St. Petersburg. He'll start in the 11th position here today. Row number 5, Thomas Schrag. In the number 92, the exclusive Autosports Corpay machine on the outside of row 5, starting in 10th. An issue yesterday while running in the top 5, hit a curb too hard and bent one of the suspension pieces. Schrag, I think he's a driver who can work his way forward, as would be Nicholas Giaffoni, who starts in the 9th spot for D-Force Racing in the number 1, last year's USF Juniors champion. A late race incident between he and Elliot Cox moved Cox down the order, and we'll see whether or not they can run clean through the end here today. Giaffoni starting in 9th. Speaking of Elliot Cox, in the number 67, the drive planning machine for Sarah Fisher Hartman Racing Development. He'll start on the outside of row number 4 in the number 8, and on the inside, driver who started pole yesterday, made it to the podium. The rookie Joey Brienza at Golden, Colorado for exclusive Autosport, the number 91, will roll off from P7 here today. We'll go to row number 3, a couple of drivers who are looking to get that maiden victory here in 2020 for, as is the rest of the field, to be honest. Sam Corey, the 23 for Pabst Racing out of Cornelius, North Carolina. A really strong run at St. Petersburg brought him in a good spot in the points. Good drive yesterday as well. Corey, the number 23, starting 6th. Alongside him and the other driver doing back-to-back a series here this weekend, Max Taylor in the number 3. Almost a pole, at least a front row start in juniors. He'll start row 2. It'll be a row 3 inside start here for the VRD driver in USF 2000, Max Taylor in row 3, starting in 5th. Moving now up into row number 2 on the outside, Evagoras Papasavas on the podium twice at St. Petersburg for Jay Howard, driver development, the number 6 machine. Very quick. He will be on the outside of row number 2. Inside of that row, Hudson Schwartz, the rookie for Pabst Racing, in the number 22. He'll start P3. 20 drivers in the field, 2 on the front row, and there they are getting ready to roll off. The number 2 out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Nico Christodoulou in the VRD Racing machine. He'll be on the outside of the front row, but the driver who has scored all the wins so far this year, 3 victories to start the season, out of Coconut Grove, Florida, Max Garcia in the Advanced Auto Parts Pabst Racing number 24. He will lead them onto the racetrack now. Good shot there from the drone as they come off a pit lane behind the USF Pro Championship pace car right past race control. Garcia and Christodoulou on row 1. Schwartz and Papasavas row 2. Taylor and Corey row 3. Brienza alongside Cox on row 4. Giafoni and Schrag row 5. Row 6, Costello and Fakiri row 7. Armstrong and Golan row 8. Kokai and Etter row 9. Hauk and DeFavis, and row 10, Jameson and Kleck. So indeed, we'll try to get ourselves an updated points total for you here as well, because you add in the points from yesterday, and things have most definitely shaken up just a little bit with Garcia, of course, stretching that lead out. But again, as the championship kind of evolves a little bit here, Papasava still holding on to 2nd, Sam Corey 3rd, Elliot Cox 4th, and Joey Brienza, with that strong run to the podium yesterday, vaults himself up to P5 in the points. In fact, only 2 points behind Elliot Cox. Quinn Armstrong still holding strong. Consistent start to the season for the Aussie. He is 6th. Nico Christodoulou 7th. Ayrton Hauk 8th. Hudson Schwartz and Maxwell Jameson rounding out the top 10 in the points as we head here into race number 4 on the season. Max Garcia, as we know, starting from pole, going to capitalize once again. Started 3rd yesterday, and actually I picked him to win just because I didn't know what was going to happen on the start of the race. And indeed, Sam Corey made a deep move to the inside of turn number 10, locked up the right front a little bit. Joey Brienza, who was leading, had to check up and then crisscross back under. But from 3rd, it was an ideal run, nice, perfectly executed over-under for Max Garcia, and he had the better run coming out of turn number 10. And even though Brienza had the inside line as he cleared by Sam Corey, it was a better run all the way around the outside for Garcia, and then of course he had the inside line with the positioning for turn number 12. So really played his way for Garcia. It's not like he outright chased somebody down and passed, but that's how racing works sometimes. Right place, right time. So the drivers will line up again, 20 strong. A super competitive field here in USF 2000 this year. As we get at it. 12 laps for juniors, 15 laps for 2000, 18 laps for pros. So a 15-lap race for these drivers, 45-minute time limit. And they'll come on to the front straightaway. Again, in the hands of the 24 of Max Garcia as we get set to start our first wheel-to-wheel racing of the day. 6 races on the docket. And the drivers are in position. Check the green flag has flown. Green, green, green. And we are rolling down into turn number 1. 3 wide, a little bit further back in the field. How's turn 1 going to look? They'll come in here right now. Garcia having the full outside line. No one challenges. A little bit of a lockup further back. The fight, not surprisingly, for 2nd. As Garcia cleanly out. You can see further back there. Schrag trying to go to the outside of Giafoni up into turn number 3. There's your leaders coming through turn 3 right now. All the way back over to turn number 4. Garcia able to challenge. The first, of course, move potentially coming in turn number 3. He'll go to 4 cleanly. So that black and yellow machine out nicely as the leader. Everybody else settling in thus far. Maybe a battle back there for 8th or 9th position as a couple drivers thinking about going 2 wide, coming through turn number 5. through 6 and 7. Now down to the flat out turn 8 and 9. See the drivers make a little bit of a move to the inside of the racetrack. We'll give you a full field lineup when they come across the line. But out of turn number 9 for the first time. Full speed down into the hard braking zone. Top 3 drivers, nose to tail. Down to the bottom goes Garcia. Outside line, he's going to get challenged. Oh, here's a move to the outside. That's Christodoulou side by side. They'll have contact. And look who slides through for that one. I think that's Hudson Schwartz through for P1. And listen, we saw that kind of action yesterday where the drivers weren't wanting to give it up. And I'll tell you, Christodoulou said, no, I'm not backing out. We saw a number of drivers on the inside back out when they were getting pressured. Christodoulou did not. He held on to the spot, and that has moved Garcia down. Garcia did not want to give it up. Contact was made. And luckily, because he popped up in the air and then came back down, Christodoulou holding on to second. So Hudson Schwartz, though, the driver who benefits from that one, he'll go to P1. Christodoulou second, Taylor third, Papasavas fourth, Cox, Garcia 5th and 6th. 7th is Corey, 8th Brienza, Schrag 9th, Costello up into the 10th spot. 11th Giafoni, 12th Golan, 13th from dead last, Cole Cluck from 20th up to 13th. Cluck on the move. Good opening lap for the Texan. Quinn Armstrong falls back to 14th, Fakuri 15th, DeFavis in 16th, Hauk, Kokai, Jameson, and Etter. So not a good start for Carson Etter. Remember, he was all the way up there he was 16th. He started race 1 a little further forward. So 16th back to 20th. Still dropped 4 spots for Carson, but obviously wrong place at the wrong time for him. The right place, however, for Hudson Schwartz. Took full advantage of it as Nico Christodoulou had made a move to the outside. And listen, I'm good with that. He did not want to give it up. He had the inside line. You know it was going to get crowded in there. He got up at the curbing a little bit. I don't know if his car washed out into Garcia at all. But the bottom line is he did not want to give that one up. Schwartz, though, your leader. Hudson Schwartz in the number 22, just 14 years of age. Started late last year in USF Juniors. Got on the podium at Virginia International Raceway. Winner of the Lucas Oil School of Racing Formula Car Series last summer. Won the scholarship to make the move up to USF 2000. Pull away from Christodoulou. You wonder whether or not Nico has any kind of potential damage, because remember, he kind of got up in the air quite a bit there and back down. Now we're settling in here. If possible, I'd love to get a chance to see a replay of that incident coming down into that corner as we followed them through there. That was a good one. We'll see whether or not we can get a chance to have a look at the replay there. Otherwise, drivers are settling in here nicely in the opening couple of laps. Schwartz, Christodoulou, Taylor, Papasavas, and Cox, the current top 5. Look at that scrap further back. That's Cole Kleck. Cole's in the middle of a fight right now with a couple of D-Force cars. He's got Quinn Armstrong and Lucas Fakuri right behind him. Remember, Kleck didn't have the outright speed. Started at the tail of the field, but had a good opening run, got aggressive. Does he have the speed to hold the guys back? You can take advantage of the chaos of an opening lap and get in front of a bunch of guys, but you still have to have the outright speed. Now, I think he's right now being challenged. You see he's kind of holding up a group here a little bit. I look visually actually myself over. He's got 6-7 cars behind him all ready to challenge. Man, it's crazy the further back in the pack, I'll tell you. They are going at it in the last 7 cars in this 20-car grid. Leaders rolling back out onto the front straightaway through turn number 13. Big run down the front stretch. I think we're going to challenge it further back. Who's that making the move to the inside? That's Giafoni alongside Thomas Schrag. That's for 10th. That's 10th and 11th. There's that battle, as I said, further back. These guys are really going at it. A couple drivers swerving a bit back there. That was the number 12, I believe, of Maxwell Jameson, moving to the inside and moving back. Race control probably had a look at that. That looked like a move in defense. This is this battle further back here. That's 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Yeah, this is Garcia trying to see if he can't fight his way back forward. I think Garcia able to make a move there. Indeed, he was able to get by, I want to say, Sam Corey. That's who he's battling with right now. Garcia and Corey, his teammate, going at it there. That was for 6th and 7th. Cox up the road there in 5th. Papasavas now in the 4th spot. There's Cox in 5th. 6th is Garcia. 7th is Corey. 8th is Brienza, 9th Costello, 10th Schrag. Schrag, as we know, in that battle right now with Nicholas Giaffoni. Hudson Schwartz trying to pull away. You can see that fight there as Corey had a little look to the inside, thought about going deep on the brakes on his teammate, but again, got to bring it home. Sam Corey coming into the day, 3rd place in points. Yeah, he's 30 points behind his teammate Garcia, but he's only 7 points behind Papa Sabas in second. A long season, as we know. I'm not surprised. Of course, big lead for Garcia, wins 3 races in a row. But I'll give this up right now for Hudson Schwartz. He had some issues on Friday, got into the wall, coming out of 13, tapped the wall. The team had a lot of work to do, but he's bounced back. Took advantage of the contact there in turn number 1. Kind of similar to what Garcia did yesterday, taking advantage of the incident between Corey and Brienza to take the lead. This time it was Schwartz who was able to benefit. He leads over Christodoulou. He leads over Taylor, who was able to get through as well. Christodoulou holding on to 3rd. 4th, Papasabas. 5th, Cox. 6th, 7th, Garcia and Corey. 8th, 9th, 10th, Brienza, Costello, and Schrag. Giaffoni right there, 11th. Golan runs in 12th. Armstrong, 13th. Kleck, 14th. So Golan and Armstrong able to get by Kleck. DeFabus, Curry, Kokai, Hauk, Jameson, Eder. Again, down the back straight from 9 to 10, and I think, Taylor is closing up here. Max Taylor starting to close on the leader, Hudson Schwartz. Last time by, quicker by 0.4 of a second. Again, remember, just 14 years of age for Hudson Schwartz, first time leading here in USF 2000, so the pressure is on. That's what the experience is all about. Whether he comes away with the victory or not, get a chance to lead races. It's really one of the things I'll tell a lot of the drivers' parents when they're going to be potentially wanting to move their driver up and maybe moving them up too early. Because the bottom line is you want your driver to have a chance to lead races. You want them to have a chance to maybe battle for championships, but at the very least, win a race or battle for the lead, not just fight mid-pack. This is a great opportunity for Hudson Schwartz to learn a ton here. Of course, he's won a bunch of races. He won that Lucas Oil School of Racing Formula Car Series Championship last year. I think we might have a pass potentially for P5. I think Garcia just slipped by Cox. We'll see that here as they come through. Yeah, they're still side by side. Cox doesn't want to give it up. So that's for P5. Indeed, Garcia by for 5th. Cox currently still in the 6th position. Cox needs a good finish here to come back. Whoa, somebody's dropped the wheel coming out of turn number 7. Doesn't look like he went around, but somebody definitely got wide coming out of that corner. Big dust up. Coming out of 7 over to 8, 9. We got a fight going on. Christodoulou is by, and as is Max Taylor. Taylor's gone to P1. Christodoulou follows him through, so Schwartz goes back to 3rd. Max Taylor now your leader as Christodoulou back up on the wheel. Max Taylor's gone to the lead. Taylor currently 11th in points. Christodoulou in 7th, looking for a good points haul today. Trying to close things up on Garcia. Taylor, Christodoulou, Schwartz, Papasabas, Garcia now 5th, Hawk 6th, Corey, Brienza, Costello, Schrag. Schrag's got about 7/10 now on Giaffoni, so Thomas Schrag trying to hold on to a top 10 after the disappointment of the bent suspension piece yesterday running P5. Driver's gone around. That's Christodoulou. He's looped it, and he's taken it. No, that was Taylor who went around. Max Taylor loops it from the lead, and Christodoulou with nowhere to go. Evasive maneuvers to the grass. Max Taylor losing it on the entry into turn number 3, goes around. So the VRD 1-2 disappears in a split second. Taylor drops a wheel again. Coming through turn number 7, he's going to fall to the back, or deeper into the back. Shake it up, and Garcia's going to find himself back in third. You're kidding me. With a shot at potentially winning still, as the fight is on right now between Papasavas and Schwartz. Papasavas, I believe, to the lead now. Evagoras, Papasavas for Jay Howard, driver development, I think has gone to P1. VRD was 1-2. Taylor spins in turn 3. Christodoulou with nowhere to go, got to go to the grass. And of course, it's damp here. Couldn't keep it straight. Around he went. And then couldn't get back on track either. How far down have they fallen on lap 7? We're not even to the halfway point. Lots of time here. I thought that maybe the victory out of the hands for Max Garcia, but it ain't done yet. Long way to go, and he is P3. Papasavas, though, for the first time this weekend, sees the front of the racetrack. Remember, he led a bunch of laps in St. Petersburg. Papasavas up front, trying to go for race win number 2. Scored a victory last year at Mid-Ohio. Papasavas, a couple of podiums in St. Petersburg as well, and the body-wise Tiger Natural Gas Aries Elite machine. So where did they fall to? Taylor 10th, Christodoulou 20th. Back of the pack from second for Nico Christodoulou. Ouch. You know what? We do have the replay ready. Let's have a look at that incident. We have the replay. I want to just run back to it. This is the incident that happened early in that race there with between Christodoulou and Max Taylor. Let's have a look at that. They queued it up for me. No, this is actually the spin. I thought we had the. Here's the spin. Look at that. Literally just entering into the corner, and Christodoulou did the best. Luckily, Christodoulou didn't take him out. Let's go back and look at that one more time if we can, folks, because I was expecting. I'd asked for the replay at the start. Here's the leader coming through turn number 3, over to 4, and just coming into the corner, trying to transition, and just lost the rear on it, on the entry. Taylor went around, was able to continue. Christodoulou spinning those tires in the wet grass. Oh, ouch. Yeah, for Christodoulou to the tail of the field, have to put his head down. I think he'll be able to get a couple more spots before the end. We're only halfway through, but he's only a couple seconds or a second behind. In fact, yeah, he's already up into 19th. So Christodoulou on full damage control now. As I said, he was 7th coming into the day in the points. So let's restack the top 10 for you with first and second going down. Papasavas, your leader. Schwartz second. Garcia third. So that's your podium right now, but we're only halfway down. 7 laps still to go. Corey 4th. Cox back to 5th. Brienza 6th. Costello 7th. Schrag 8th. Giafoni 9th. And Taylor holding on to 10th. So again, just trying to roll the corner and lost the rear end. That tells you how much these drivers are dancing it on the ragged edge, right? Where they're trying to get so much, roll into a corner with so much corner speed. Papasavas stretching away nicely right now. Evagoras Papasavas looking for his second win. Good fight further back between Sam Corey and Elliot Cox. Those guys going at it right now for P4. I think we have a yellow. Incident on the racetrack. Not sure at this point where it is, but yellow flag is flown on lap number 9. Yellow flag will bring them to a stop, restack them. Big benefit for Max Garcia to potentially go for another victory, but we are yellow. At this point, not quite sure why we're yellow. The AMR crew on its way out to the incident, so they'll be able to give us a chance when they get there. And I'll tell you who this is a huge benefit for is Nico Christodoulou. He's going to be able to attack and potentially get himself back up into the top 10 over the second half of the race. So full course yellow, as we said, for an instant. Driver has spun. That's Carson Eder, I believe. Either Eder or Hauk. And we're going to say it's Carson Eder. So an issue with Eder. Not quite sure what happened there, whether or not they're going to be able to refire him or if he's going to climb out of the car. He does climb out of the car, so something happened there with Eder. So indeed, Carson, another driver out of this one here in that number 57 machine, the Priority Workforce GATC Health DC Autosport entry. Second year here, the USF Pro Championships, rookie here in USF 2000. He's out of the car already. Some kind of a damage to the car. Yeah, and they're going to bring the hook in, so another look at it there. I believe the outside potentially at turn number 3. So you wonder if there was contact to have damage like that. Like I said, I think he was racing potentially with Nico Christodoulou, so I don't know whether or not he was involved in the incident there as well, but race control looking over video now of it. On the yellow, let's take a chance to kind of reset it here for us. Evagoras Papasavas getting the lead after the incident with the spin for Taylor and the evasive maneuver to the grass for Nico Christodoulou. Papasavas the leader, Schwartz second, Garcia third, Corey and Elliott Cox fourth and fifth, Brienza sixth, Costello seventh, Thomas Schrag eighth, Nicholas Giaffoni in ninth, Max Taylor 10th, Quinn Armstrong 11th, Brady Golan 12th, Ayrton Hauk in 13th, Lucas Fakuri 14th, Xavier Kokai in 15th, Christodoulou now up into 16th, Jameson, DeFabus, Kleck, and Eder cap off the 20 cars in the field. Still full course. We've got that car up on the hook. I would expect we'll be able to go green this next time by. Watching the expediency of the AMR safety crew here. Yeah, they're already back in the truck. Tow truck drivers climbing behind the wheel. That thing's already secured in the back here. They'll take that car back to the DC Autosport paddock. I'm going to say probably just some damage. I want to say one of the sides of the rear suspension. So we'll be going green, I think, next time by. Yeah, couldn't get a good look at it. Yeah, left side looks pretty good. Potentially the right rear. We'll get another better look at it when it comes around here. Yeah, hard to see. Nonetheless, we're going to bring that machine back. Field working its way around turn number 4 right now, over to turn number 5. We will be going green this next time by. Of course, drivers just coming through turn number 5 over to turn number 6. Our crew will be able to get that car into their station quite quickly. And we'll be able to go back to green here. Indeed, the tow truck and the machine of Eder now moving into position out of harm's way. And we'll go back to green flag racing. 10 in the books. It'll be 11 down, 4 laps to go in this one, 4 remaining. Evagoras Papasavas looking to get his first win of 2024. Max Garcia gifted a little bit there. He's back in P5 at one point, now into third spot. With the spin by Taylor and the off track for Christodoulou, the two VRD drivers were 1-2 at the time. Papasavas, no stranger to running up front last year in that first big victory. In fact, it was a Pabst car that he had to hold off for the win. It was Simon Sykes last year, and he put his elbows up and got that first win at Mid-Ohio. And again, for Papasavas, a driver who is an Ohio driver out of Loveland, Ohio, winning at Mid-Ohio is one of the focuses you're trying to get done. He was able to score that victory holding off one of the Pabst cars. He'll have to do it again here as the pace car will now head to pit lane. We are racing. Lap 11 will go in the books. A 15-lapper means 4 more circuits still to cap off the day. Out of turn number 13. They're already going sideways. We're actually throwing the green still. Green flag didn't fly. And Sam Corey takes the lead coming down into turn number 1. Not sure what happened there. That caught me off guard. Sam Corey somehow able to take the lead as they came down into turn number 1. So Corey, Papasavas, Schwartz, Garcia, and Cox, how they crossed the line. So this opening lap after the restart, not sure what happened there with Papasavas. He ends up going back. So right now, full course yellow being displayed, I believe. That's what I'm hearing from race control. Full course yellow. There is debris on the final corner. I think you saw kind of some of that chaos that happened over in turn number 13. So they'll woe things back up again. So in turn 13, something off the side of the racetrack. Not quite sure what it is. But the crew will head there again. Pace car onto the track for a full course yellow. This is going to put lap number 12 in the books. We may get one lap. You see when they come around, yeah, there's a piece right there. That's right in the middle of the racing line where these drivers will come across at speed. Is that someone's nose? Yeah, there it is there. That's the nose of Thomas Schrag. So something happened to check up the field. Like I said, I don't know how Corey was able to jump out into the lead there, but that's the nose from Thomas Schrag who's coming across the line. He obviously had to check up. Let's see whether or not the guys in the truck can help me out here with a replay of that start to find out exactly what happened there. Yeah, if we can get a look at the replay there, that'd be great. Thomas Schrag has had no luck here this weekend. Was running 8th, I think, at the time. Somebody checked up. The crew's going to get over there and get those pieces quickly. We'll likely be able to go back to green this time by, but it'll be 13 when we come back. We're going to have a 2-lap dash at the end of this one. So I believe I'm thinking is that the green flag had flown, and Papasavas just didn't punch off. Similar to what we saw at Indianapolis last year, early on, when Francesco Pizzi didn't punch, the green flag came out, and both Joel Grandforce and Salvador de Alba were able to just dive around. He didn't leave when the green came on. And Corey, of course, taking advantage of it. That's what happens when you're with the communication with your spotter. When that green flag flies, we're racing. So I can't see the green flag from where I call from, but I have a feeling that the green flag is flying. Papasavas didn't go, and that's what kind of stacked everybody up. Papasavas didn't go. People were checking up behind him. You see Corey was, I think, able to dive to the right and was able to get going to the right. Thomas Schrag was in the middle of the group, right? You're lined up in the train waiting to punch off. Everybody else checking up, and Schrag ended up getting into the back of him. So, man, it's just unbelievably tough luck for Thomas Schrag, who was running strongly in that 8th position. So he's going to fall down. Actually, I think he's still out on the racetrack. I don't know whether he's back in here yet or not. Down in 16th last time by. But here we go again. Corey, Papasavas, Garcia, Schwartz, Brienza. Lap 13 will go into the books. We got ourselves a 2-lap battle for the race win. Here they come up the front straightaway. Papasavas thinking about Garcia trying to go by as well. Sam Corey looking for his first win of 2024. It's a 2-lap battle. Papasavas going to hold him off right now. The white flag will fly this next time by. Thomas Schrag into pit lane with the loss of that nose cone. He'll look to redeem the weekend in race number 3. Still the lead here for Sam Corey coming through turn number 3. What a wild finish this one was. Papasavas trying to hold off Garcia now. This is a crucial run here for Papasavas. If he's able to hold off Garcia, he'll gain some points back. That's the key here now. It's not going to be a win potentially, but the bottom line is, and he can stay. Listen, he can still go after Corey here right now, but you've got to hold Garcia back. If you do, you punch into that lead a little bit, that point lead, the strong point lead he has coming in. White flag will fly this next time by for Sam Corey. He was able to take advantage of that green flag flying on the restart. Corey looks good coming down in. Big defensive move further back down to the bottom of the racetrack, P4. That's Hudson Schwartz. Schwartz trying to hold off Joey Brienza and Nicholas Giafoni. Right there, as well as Max Taylor. Chris Dedulu taking full advantage, folks. He's back up to 9th. He was last before that restart. He is now up to 9th for Chris Dedulu. Great recovery for Nico after having to go off into the grass to avoid his spinning teammate. Sam Corey, though, leading the way. Corey coming down into turn number 1. Everybody thinking about it here. Garcia would like the spot, but again, he doesn't need to throw it away. Another top 3 run here for Max Garcia would be huge. 3 wins and a podium. Great start for him. I wouldn't, if I were him, I wouldn't be throwing it away, but you know, as I said, racers are racers. They're going to try to get everything they possibly can. We saw that yesterday with Giafoni and Cox when they had good finishes. So final lap here for USF 2000. USF Pro 2000 drivers waiting in the wings. Victory Lane celebrations will take place after this. Jeremy Shaw will take care of the Victory Lane for me here as we're prepping to go USF Pro 2000 racing as well. Final circuit for Sam Corey. Clean and green through 8 and 9. He's got himself a bit of a cushion, which is nice, as does Papa Savas. Got lots of room. Garcia does as well. Back to Schwartz. I'm sure we'll see some heroics a little further back in the pack, but right now, Corey just trying to finish things off here in the Pabst Racing Machine. It'll be still Pabst 1, 2, 3, 4 in terms of wins. Garcia got the first 3, but the driver from Cornelius, North Carolina, out of the final corner. All he's got to do is get it back to the line, gives himself enough room, and he'll streak up the front straightaway. Out of 13, the winner of race number 4 on the season in USF 2000 is Sam Corey. Corey wins. Taking advantage of some confusion on the restart. Corey with the win. Papa Savas in 2nd. Garcia 3rd and Hudson Schwartz in 4th. Pabst Racing 1, 3, 4. Joey Brienza, another strong run. Top 5 for Brienza. Max Taylor back into 6th. Chris Dedulu from 20th back up to 7th. You know they had a fast hot rod. And Nico Chris Dedulu taking full advantage of that restart to be able to get himself back forward from 20th up into 7th over a couple of laps. Chris Dedulu attacking. Giafoni ends up in 8th, Quinn Armstrong in 9th, and Lucas Facuri rounding out the top 10 ahead of Brady Goal and Aaron Hauk in 12th. Elliot Cox, who was up in the top 5, top 6, ends up 13th. Not sure what happened to Elliot in the final circuit, but he falls back to 13th. Not been a great weekend. He'll look to recover in race number 3. Xavier Kokai in 14th, Tanner DeFabus 15th, Jameson, Costello, Schrag, Kleck, and Eder cap off the field. But a big win for Sam Corey, no doubt about it. Again, coming into the point, sitting in 3rd. He's able to beat both Papa Savas and Garcia, so he's going to make up a couple of spots. 30 points back, as I said, so he'll probably make up, I want to say, 5, 6 points on Garcia. We ended up with fast lap of the race there. 35-8 Corey, 35-6 Papa Savas. 35-6-3 for Max Taylor. I think Max Taylor may come away with the fast lap on that one. No, Nico Chris Dedulu, 35.607. That'll likely be the fast lap. Man, I'll tell you, some action in that one there. That's Sam Corey. We'll drive it down pit lane here now. Again, still... yeah, we're still good. We got about 25 minutes before we fire the engines for USF Pro 2000. But as I said, Jeremy Shaw will be down there in Victory Lane to meet, I'm sure, a very elated Sam Corey. Papa Savas and Garcia back on the podium once again. Cream rising to the top for sure here early in the season. not sure Papa Sabas will be thrilled, but again, you're just looking at kind of how that thing shook down. It's like maybe he just didn't punch off in time. Everybody kind of stacked everything up. Corey got on the gas and went. He obviously got the call from his spotter to go, go, go. As I said, I didn't see the green flag, but I guarantee you race controls were looking over everything here to make sure of what happened on track. They've got all the cameras, as we said. Sam Corey down into victory lane here at NOLA Motorsports Park. He'll be thrilled with that one for sure. Indeed. Crew coming up, give them congratulations. Of course, we'll get down there with Jeremy Shaba when we can, but a good shot here of the post-race celebrations. Get over and get himself weighed, get himself dialed in here. Corey, Papasavas, Garcia, 1, 2, 3. Schwartz in 4th, Brienza 5th, Taylor 6th, Christodoulou 7th. So a decent recovery for Taylor and Christodoulou. They were P1 and P2. They end up 6th and 7th. 8th, Nicholas Giafoni. 9th, Quinn Armstrong. And 10th, Lucas Facuri. Setting up to get the celebrations rolling again. As I said, we'll have the drivers in the USF Pro 2000 program. They've got their false grid actually just opening up at 9:30. Big for Sam Corey, as I said. He had a really strong run at the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Wise in terms of the way he approached that weekend at the Concrete Canyon, which you know can bite you so quickly. Had a couple of good runs there. Solid day yesterday as well, but coming back with a victory here today, very big for Sam Corey. Evagoras Papasavas down there, another top podium finish for Evagoras. This guy is on a roll right now as well. 4 straight podiums for Papasavas to start the year. Garcia, 3 wins and a third now. Of course, both Papasavas and Garcia closing up a little bit on him. Hudson Schwartz in 4th, led for a time, but got eaten up a bit there by Taylor and Christodoulou early on, but he comes back for a 4th place finish. Brienza in 5th, Taylor 6th, Christodoulou 7th, Giafoni 8th, Armstrong 9th, and Lucas Facuri rounding out the top 10. Just dialing things in down here in victory lane with our camera crew, so we've got time, let's put it that way. We're not even rolling our USF Pro 2000 cars out on the grid until 9:45. We release them actually at 9:50, so we're still 20 minutes away from releasing the USF Pro 2000 cars onto the grid. Back-to-back races, as I had said, as USF Pro 2000 is going to roll out here next. After that, we'll have a quick break in the action back at 11:25 for USF Juniors on their second race. But at this point, drivers get a chance to chat with each other afterwards. I'm sure there's a lot of discussion on there, kind of what happened there, what the chaos was in that restart, because that will obviously set the tone for how this thing finished up. Papasavas just not punching off when we were ready to rock. So again, just getting some things dialed in down there. I believe we're almost ready to go here now and get things going. Just waiting for the call to send it down to victory lane and get things underway, because obviously we got 3 drivers ready to stand on the podium to pop some champagne and to get things rolling. All right, folks, we're ready to go here right now. Let's get down to victory lane. I'll send it down to Jeremy Shaw.
Victory lane of Louisiana Continental Tire. A round of applause for our place runner today. Result he wanted today, I'm sure, having started from the pole position, but still really good ball. And to present the trophy is Michelle Kish from Anderson Promotions. In second position today, continuing in second position today for the continuing his run of podium finishes this season for driver development. Well done, Ivagoras. Another really good run for him today. And once again, to present the trophy is Michel Kish. So Ivagoras is continuing his run of podium finishes in every race this season, so he keeps the pressure on our championship leader Max Garcia, pulls a few points on him today in the second round of the 3 this weekend. But our race winner today, for the first time this season, his first win of the year, then second year in the series, his second win overall. For Paps Racing, our race winner today is Sam Corey. And to present the trophy first, do you want to do that first? Let's have a trophy from Michel Kish. And then a word with our race winner, Sam. An interesting race out there today. You didn't leave from the front, but you were in position to take the win when it presented itself. Tell us a little about how the race went from your perspective.
Yeah, I know the car was really good today. You know, as Augie said when I got out of the car, you know, you can't stop until the checker flag's out. So the car was really good. Kind of the green was thrown. My on the radio, Nate, he came on the radio, said green, and that's the time and kind of just contention. And that's how this works. And I can't put enough. The car was amazing, just amazing guys.
I mean, this team has been up front all the way through the season so far. It's been your teammate Max Garcia who's won the first 3 races. Now, though, you've evened the score a little bit at least.
Yeah, it's definitely not close yet, but it'll be a good season, all of us, and yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well, congratulations then to our top finishers. Second race of the Continental Tire Grand Prix of Louisiana. In third position to Max Garcia. Second position, Ivagoras Papasavas. And the race winner for Paps Racing is Sam Corey.
So the drivers taking an opportunity to celebrate down here in Victory Lane. Again, a couple of drivers of Paps Racing and Jay Howard's, Ivagoras Papasavas. Big victory for Sam Corey, though, indeed, as he said, still a big gap right now for Garcia up front, but Corey getting that victory to kind of chip away at that championship advantage a little bit. A good opportunity for Sam Corey to kind of enjoy the spoils of the victory here and able to get that jump on the green and capitalize on that, come away with the win. So solid drive there for Sam Corey, his first win of 2024. And again, just ending that run there of Max Garcia. Nonetheless, Garcia back on the podium again, so the point haul still there. Papasavas finishing ahead of Garcia, so he climbs in a little bit more into the points as well. All in all, solid battle up front. Some action there in USF 2000 for sure. Folks, we're still about, I'm going to say, where are we, 12 minutes away likely from getting things going for the USF Pro 2000 category. So we're going to cut to a quick break here, folks. Again, we're back at 9:50, USF Pro 2000 for their second race of the weekend.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
And they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
hard. My career's on the line. It's a great chapter. I think everybody's goal is to win my life.
All this year is playing together, making a good championship season out of
It's
it.
the reason to keep me alive and the reason to keep me pushing.
I mean, a lot since I can keep going up the ladder. All those champions and wanting to become part of that
The
list.
drivers are racing aggressive with me, I'll race aggressive with them.
The scholarship's incredibly important. It's obviously the goal for every driver.
I'm going to rewrite what happened last year in terms of that rivalry with him getting the best of me.
When you win a race, it's the best feeling ever.
Field is stacked.
Hopefully this year we can have good luck.
Having the scholarship money to move up next year is really all I'm aiming for.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
It's a fresh start. It's a career's on the line. It's a great chapter. I think everybody's goal is to win my life.
All this year is wanting to work together, making a good championship season out of it.
The reason to keep me alive and the reason to keep me pushing.
I mean, a lot since I can keep going up the ladder. All those champions and wanting to become part of that
The
list.
drivers are racing aggressive with me, I'll race aggressive with them.
The scholarship's incredibly important. It's obviously the goal for every driver.
I'm gonna rewrite what happened last year in terms of that rivalry with him getting the best of me.
When you win a race, it's the best feeling ever.
Field is stacked.
Hopefully this year we can have good luck.
Having the scholarship money to move up next year is really all I'm aiming for.
And welcome back to NOLA Motorsports Park. 72 degrees trackside, full cloud cover on the facility here. And again, working through what will be 6 races on the day. 1 already in the books with USF2000 and a big win there for Sam Corey. But indeed, the drivers getting set to roll out here. 19, I believe, set to take the call here for USF Pro 2000. There's Hunter Yaney coming off a big victory. Ready to step it back up here once again, starting on the pole position. Let's have a look at the grid right now. 20 drivers set to go. Row number 10 will have Tyke Durst on the outside in the number 33 for Turn 3 Motorsports. His teammate Adam Fitzgerald alongside him starting 19th. Row number 9, Braden Eves for Exclusive Autosport in the number 92. An engine change last night. Look for him to find more speed here throughout the day. Eves in the number 92 starting 18th. Alongside him, Logan Adams, the rookie for Comet Racing in the number 21 starting in 17th. Row number 8, Danny Dashelski in the number 3, Turn 3 Motorsports. A strong run for Dashelski yesterday. Had a really good drive up into the top 5. He is going to start 16th, and with the speed he showed yesterday, he could be a driver to watch here in this one. Alongside him for D-Force Racing, Nicolas Monteiro, the Brazilian, in the number 9. Row number 7, that's where we'll have the one driver who's not going to start. That is David Morales, told he will not show to the start of the grid here after the incident yesterday. The TJ Speed Motorsports driver will be a no-show in the 28, so we'll leave a space there. George Garciarce from Mexico, the D-Force Racing number 10, though on the inside, starting 13th. Row number 6, Lockie Hughes, one of the dominant drivers at St. Petersburg. Trouble yesterday with the DNF. He falls from the point lead, in fact, down into second now, but he will start the number 44 Turn 3 Motorsports car from 12th position. Lockie was quick here at the spring training event back in February. Work to do, though, to get himself up to the podium here today. Alongside him, fast Frankie Mossman for Jay Howard Driver Development in the number 6, starting in 11th. Into the top 10 on the outside, Ethan Ho in the 68. He was running top 5 yesterday when he tapped the wall coming out of 13. The pace there for the Turn 3 Motorsports driver out of Los Angeles, California. Look for Ho to work his way forward in the 68. He'll start alongside Ricardo Escoto for BN Racing in the number 77. Row number 4 on the outside, Liam Skeets, the New Zealand driver, the rookie for TJ Speed, the number 26, starting 8th. Alongside him, Christian Brooks in the number 19, the Pabst Racing driver. Starting in the 7th position, Christian Brooks, P3 in points coming into this race. Moving now up to row number 3 on the outside, Matt Clark, the Canadian rookie for D-Force Racing in the number 7. Strong run yesterday, moving him up to 6th place in the points. That's where he'll start on the track here today outside of row number 3. Inside, the new point leader out of Florida, Nikita Johnson for VRD Racing in the number 17. Now holds a 16-point lead over Lockie Hughes. Nikita Johnson, the number 17, starting 5th. Row number 2 will have Jace Denmark on the outside, the Pabst Racing driver in the number 20, starting 4th. His teammate Simon Sykes, last year's USF 2000 champion, on the inside in the number 18. 20 in the field, 2 on the front row, and it'll be the rookie Nicholas Baptiste from Bogota, Colombia for BN Racing, starting on the off pole in the number 74, but the driver they'll be chasing, as they did yesterday in the race, Hunter Yaney out of Virginia for TJ Speed Motorsports, the number 27 machine, looking to see if he can go back-to-back wins here in NOLA Motorsports Park. Still another race to come, could be 3, but Hunter Yaney's got to try to go for race number 2 to get it underway. Yaney and Baptiste on row 1, Sykes and Denmark row 2, Johnson alongside Clark on row 3, Brooks and Skeets on row 4, Escoto and Ho cap off your top 10, Mossman and Hughes on row 6, Garciarce will be by himself on row 7, Montiero and Deschelsky on row 8, Adams and Eves row 9, Fitzgerald and Durst on row number 10. So there is your grid. The driver set to roll out here in USF Pro 2000. Indeed, almost ready to get the call to head out onto the racetrack and get things underway. An 18-lapper within the 45-minute time limit. And after this, here on the broadcast, we'll go for a quick break as the drivers in the Skip Barber Formula Car Series will head out for their first of 2 races here this weekend. We'll be back again. Look for a 11:30 start for USF Juniors race number 2. Again, 6 races on the docket for an overcast day here in Avondale, Louisiana. Still 72 degrees. We're expecting to get to a high of 78, so it's very comfortable outside. Still a light breeze. Some action in USF 2000 for sure. A lot of it. USF Pro 2000 had some issues yesterday as well. I mentioned the incident for Ethan Ho, the DNF dead stick on track for Lockie Hughes. And of course, we had that incident late in the race as well. It involved a number of drivers, David Morales, Fitzgerald, Montiero, over in turn number 3. So ideally, we'll see a clean one out of these drivers here. Nonetheless, championship looking good. Nikita Johnson out front, as I said, by 16 points over Lockie Hughes. 77 points for Johnson, 61 points for Hughes early in the season, as we know. Christian Brooks back by about another, I want to say, 16 points, 55 points for Christian Brooks. Hunter Yaney, though, jumping up to P4. Nice when you get those 30 points for winning. He goes up to 4th with 53. Frankie Mossman and Matt Clark tied for P5 with 44 points. Danny Toshelsky just back by 1, 43 points. Liam Skeets in 8th with 40. Braden Eves in 9th with 39. And Jace Denmark rounding out the top 10 with 38 points. As I said, we can talk points. We can look at the standings here. But again, we're only 3 races into the season. Lots of racing to go before we get to Portland International Raceway in the last weekend of August to cap it off our season finale to find out who wins and takes home the scholarships again. Over $1.68 million on offer in prize money and awards for the USF Pro Championships this year. These drivers here in the USF Pro Championships, a scholarship worth over $681,000 to take to Indy next in 2025. Hunter Yaney again on the pole. Get things underway. Big victory yesterday for Hunter. TJ Speed as well. We've had 3 different winners on the season. Hughes, Johnson, and now Yaney. 3 different teams as well. Turn 3, VRD, and TJ Speed Motorsports. And it's been a rough kind of up and down year for TJ Speed so far. See if they'll capitalize with another one here. Drivers coming out of the final corner, turn number 13. Yaney on the inside, Baptiste on the outside. His first front row start in USF Pro Championships competition. A couple of drivers with not a ton of experience up front. Everybody getting ready to rock. A little move there for Johnson. Green flag flying and we're underway. Green, green, green. The race down into turn number 1. Oh, we're going to make it interesting. 3 wide as they come in a little further back. Yaney outside. Look at Baptiste trying to hold the spot. He'll check up enough. Good call there for Baptiste to check up. I think Denmark holding on to P3. Jace Denmark into the third spot. So Nicholas Baptiste could have got aggressive, but checked up a bit. A couple of drivers locking it up, going off. That is, I think, Mossman. Mossman overcooks it. Going into turn number 3, has to take the wide outside line of that track, and he's going to fall all the way back almost to the very tail of the grid. Not quite, though. You see the D-Force car there. Matt Clark jumping up over the curbing on the exit, kind of pushed wide a little bit on the outside of turn 4. Simon Sykes digging there for P5. Another brake lock up. Everybody pushing hard on the opening circuit, as we know. Coming now through turn number 7. That short chute that leads them down into turn number 8 and 9. Flat out through there. These cars just hustle through 8 and 9. And here's the first run down into turn number 10. Do we get a shot here from Baptiste? If you think about making a pass, number of drivers defending to the inside. But no, Yaney holds the position. Baptiste goes into second. Denmark still third as they come back to 11 over to 12. Sykes now running in 4th. Clark 5th. I think Brooks potentially 6th. Yeah, Brooks is 6th. I want to say Johnson 7th. Johnson and Brooks side by side coming down into turn 1. Look a little further back there. Johnson gets the job done. Nikita Johnson, better run out of the corner. And I believe he's able to take the spot away from Christian Brooks to move Johnson up into 6th. Brooks back to 7th. 8th, Liam Skeets. 9th, Ricardo Escoto. 10th is Lockie Hughes. Lockie started 12th, got a couple of spots there. One gifted, I believe, by Mossman, who went off, as we said, over in turn number 3, a little overcooked there. He falls all the way back to 19th. Braden Eves, who started down in 17th, he's already up into the 13th spot. So Braden Eves up to P13 early on, first lap. Again, 18 laps for the drivers here in USF Pro 2000. They'll race again this afternoon. Green flag set to go at 2:15 this afternoon for race number 3 of the triple header. Bit of a gap you see there. We'll pick up where that gap is. That's 11th, I think, back to 12th. We've got a good group of 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 all running together there. Oh, look at this. Matt Clark trying to find a way by Simon Sykes, but Nikita Johnson's getting aggressive too. Look to the inside coming through. Nikita's a tighter entry or exit coming out of turn 13. Pinched down to the bottom a little bit. Let's see if Brooks is able to take advantage of that. The driver's slowed. No, we got full course yellow. It's a full course yellow. Unsure why at this point, but the yellow has come out. Not sure why we've got the yellow, but it did come out. They caught a couple drivers off guard there coming onto the front straightaway. AMR crew will head from their spot to try to find. You see him pulling out of the spot there just by the start-finish line. Might be Danny Dazelski. I don't know where Dazelski is, but did not come back around. Looking at all the camera angles I have. Potentially over on the outside of turn number 7. Yeah, Dazelski has stopped on the back part of the racetrack over turn 7, I believe. Danny had a great run yesterday. Tough to see him fall to the tail of the field here. It'll stack everybody back up. A good opportunity for Frankie Mossman to close back up as well. He's actually out of the car at this point. Not quite sure what happened there. Whether contact happened or what it was for Dazelski, but he is out. Might have happened over in turn number 6. A couple of drivers getting together potentially there. So we'll give you the lineup as they came across. Hunter Yaney, the leader. Baptiste in 2nd. Denmark 3rd. Sykes 4th. Clark 5th. Johnson 6th. Christian Brooks in 7th. Liam Skeets 8th. 9th and 10th, Ricardo Escoto and Lockie Hughes. 11th was Ethan Ho. Then we went back to that next group that had George Garcia-Arce, Logan Adams, Adam Fitzgerald, Nicholas Montiero, Tyke Durst, Braden Eves, and Frankie Mossman. Eves was up to 13th, but now back to 17th. Not sure what happened to Braden, as he had worked his way up to 13th on the opening lap, but then on that next lap fell back to 17th. That's Eves further back there, kind of settling back in. Like I said, they made an engine change overnight to the Corpay machine for exclusive Autosports. Number 92 of Eves, former USF 2000 champion, multi-time race winner in USF Pro. Been a rough weekend for them so far. He's actually had a decent start with a couple of 8th place finishes, top 8 finishes rather, 6th and 8th at St. Petersburg. Not, of course, what Braden Eves would be expecting. 6th place in points coming into the weekend. It didn't have a great run yesterday, as we know. 9th place in points now, but again, just 1 point behind Skeets, 4 behind Dashelski, 5 behind Mossman and Clark. Well, he's literally only 5 points behind 5th. But again, they just have not had a good weekend here as of yet for Braden Eves. But we'll see whether or not he can go racing again with this yellow. So some kind of damage to the number 3 of Danny Dashelski. So they'll get that car off the track. And again, for him, obviously some kind of contact coming through 5 or 6. Hard to see from here whether it's potentially just maybe some right rear damage, whatever happened to the car there, but they'll bring him around the back. Lights out on the pace car, folks. We're going back to racing. They'll put lap 4 in the books where they come back around. 18 again on the schedule. They'll just get the car, Dashelski, out of the way at this point here. We'll have lots of time to get him back into pit lane at that point here. Again, they don't race for quite a while, as I had said before. Green flag, again, for these drivers, not until 2:15 this afternoon. So over 4 hours from now when they're back on track. But Hunter Yaney's going to have a chance to defend again on the restart. This time, Baptiste in second, Denmark third, Sykes, Clark, and Johnson right there. Johnson was pretty looking at getting aggressive. He was looking to make some moves on Matt Clark, but not quite. Drivers is coming through 8 and 9 now. Again, a big win for Hunter Yaney yesterday. Nikita Johnson and Jace Denmark on the podium. Dashelski had a strong 4th place run. Matt Clark was 5th, Baptiste 6th. He'll have a chance to potentially get on the podium here, starting 2nd and running strong at the start, right there with Yaney. Scotto, Brooks, Mossman, and Sykes, that was your top 10. All right, coming through turn number 11, over to 12. Let's get back to a restart here. Again, lap 4 will go in the book, still 14 to go. Long way here. Contact taking Danny Dashelski out. We know that David Morales didn't start, so we are down to 18 drivers remaining on the racetrack. A gift for Frankie Mossman to be able to come back forward after that issue. Big wide run out of the corner for Hunter Yaney. Was the inside line better? It may have been. Look at this. They're snaking down the straightaway. Yaney's going to have to stay to the bottom of the racetrack here. Restart's always a great opportunity to overtake, and it is going to be exciting into turn number 1. Yaney's going to come to the middle of the racetrack a bit. Baptiste around the outside, and it's Sykes potentially able to take a spot from his teammate. He does. Simon Sykes puts the scholarship livery car up into P3. Clark taking advantage as well. Clark thinking to the inside, coming down into turn number 3. Denmark down to the bottom and to try to hold his spot. A couple of drivers running the outside line. Oh, 3 wide coming down into 4. Who's the driver? That's Nikita Johnson. Big move to the bottom of the racetrack as he's trying to take 2 of them. And Clark's going to drop a wheel on the exit. He's not giving up on Clark. He comes away with it across the bow. Matt Clark, nicely done through turn 7. Sykes able to hold on to that spot 3rd. But Clark did not want to give it up, hung the outside of turn number 4. That was a bold move for the Canadian to hold back Johnson, who thought better of it early in the run, didn't force it, and slots back into P5. So some really aggressive racing on the restart, not surprising. And these experienced drivers going at it. Look at the fight further back, though. How about 3 wide into turn 10? Why not? Thinking about it, Johnson this time gets around. Clark getting pinched down to the bottom, and Denmark's going to have the inside run, but he's got to check up. Wise move there for Denmark as well. It's hard to take the inside line. Escoto has a look to the inside too. Man, they're stacking him up. Escoto up to a spot. Brooks right behind him. Woo! We are going at it here in pro. Man. Ease to the tail, so whatever issues he's been battling, still there as he's at the back right now. Big lock up there for Mossman coming into turn number 1. Everybody able to get through, but he locked up the right front going to the inside into turn 1. The field again back working their way through into turn number 3. Over to 4. Still the lead for Hunter Yaney. Great restart for Simon Sykes, able to capitalize and get by Matt Clark. Move himself up into 3rd. Last year's USF 2000 champion trying to have a big win. Remember an incident in the first race of the year. Big wreck in turn number 9 at St. Petersburg. David Morales got caught up in that as well. Sykes trying to rebound from a tough start. Not that he's done it before. He had the same kind of an incident the year he won the championship last year, so he's just got to keep digging. Yaney pulling away a bit here now. He'd love to see this thing go to the end. Clean and green. Nice lead right now over Baptiste, who's got Sykes on the gearbox now. Christian Brooks leading Lockie Hughes and Liam Skeets. Right behind them as well, Jorge Garcia Arce. He's got a couple passes. I have a feeling that Braden Eves might have checked up. Oh, check out this fight here. It's Johnson trying to go to the inside. Johnson looked to the inside of Sykes, didn't get it done, but can he get it in turn number 3? Nikita Johnson, super aggressive, throws it down the bottom of the racetrack. And I think he may have got it done there. He does. Great pass there for Nikita Johnson. Little defensive down into turn number 4. Sykes holding on to P5. Clark 6th. Denmark 7th. Escoto 8th. Brooks, Hughes, and Skeets top 10. I was just going to say, I wonder whether or not Eves might have just kind of checked back up a little bit on the chaos of the opening laps, trying to see if he could get some more if there was another incident, because he's already got a couple positions already. When you're at the back, right, if you know something's going to happen in turn 1, make sure you have the ability to clear it and then go to work. See whether or not he's able to now make a move by Tyke Durst. Eves across the line in 16th. Here's some side-by-side racing. Matt Clark going to work here. No, that's actually the fight between Brooks and Lockie Hughes. Both these drivers on the podium, as we know, at St. Petersburg. Hughes taking the lead there with the first and second place finishes. Christian Brooks. A couple of top 5s there, second in race 1. Yeah, Eves is still struggling back there, battling with Mossman right now. Brooks trying to see if he can't give himself a little breathing room from Hughes. Johnson faster than both leaders by 0.2 of a second. Nikita Johnson trying to close up here, and Hunter Yaney and Nicholas Baptiste. Yaney's got a pretty solid lead right now, though. You see that coming out of turn number 6 over to 7. The TJ Speed car on fire here this weekend. The rest of the field streaming through turn number 7. Oh, big wheel drop there. Hanging the left rear out of the gravel. You can say that was somewhere around maybe Fitzgerald or Ho. And there's a move already for second. Nikita Johnson P2 yesterday. Has he got a card to go win here today? Wow. Not even to the halfway point yet. In an 18-lapper. Lap 7. Call it lap 8 in the books now. Yaney's the leader, but Johnson's coming. Nikita Johnson is up on the wheel. Yeah, he was quicker by over 0.6 of a second from Yaney last time by. I think it's only a matter of time. Johnson is flying. We saw this a bit in race number 2 at St. Petersburg as he hunted down Lockie Hughes, made the pass, and then went 3 straight laps, purple laps, to cap off and build a massive gap over the last 3 laps of that race. You've done a good job developing that VRD car over the weekend at St. Petersburg. Same here for Nikita Johnson. Sure, they're on the radio letting them know you've got a better car. Just take your time. Get up where you need to be. Baptiste, 3rd now. Sykes, 4th. Clark, 5th. Then Denmark. Then over a 1.5 seconds back to Ricardo Escoto, so the top 6 drivers have some breathing room here. There's the gap for Hunter Yaney up front. Trying to get that second win. Matt Clark not done at all yet, and Simon Sykes isn't done either. I think both those 2 drivers, Sykes and Clark, closing up a little bit here on Nicolas Baptiste. Baptiste trying to come back from that rough one at St. Petersburg when he and Escoto got together late in the race. Race number 2. All right, Yaney gets down to a 31.7. Clark, Johnson a 31.4, so still 0.3 quicker, 0.5 back. And you can see it visually. It's only about 3 car lengths now coming out of turn 1. Johnson's going to get a little bit of the aero wash you'll get in these USF Pro 2000 cars that are more heavily dependent on the aero package. A lot more downforce on these cars than USF 2000. So if you're right up on the gearbox for the flat out turn 8 and 9, may not be super front end loaded. Going to get a little bit of that entry understeer. But you still have a long run out of turn number 9 down to 10 to potentially make that move. Johnson looks good. Does he have enough to make a run at him here? Again, lots of time still. We're only at the halfway point. 9 down, 9 to go in USF Pro 2000. The first of 2 races on the day. Second race of the weekend. Look at this. Johnson closing right up. Yaney's got to run the inside line. Over under. Can he get close enough? Can he get around the corner to turn number 12? Johnson trying to finish it off. Not quite on the inside, up on the curb. He's going to run the inside line coming through. They're side by side through 13. Big run to the outside for Yaney. Does he have a better run? Wow, those drivers went side by side. Yaney's trying to crowd him a little bit down the inside. Johnson's going to keep moving over. Johnson does have the inside line. Who's got the better brakes? Coming down into turn number 1. Johnson on the inside. Yaney's going to roll the outside still. Oh, he holds him off. Oh, nicely done for both of these drivers, giving each other just enough room. This time the outside line potentially, a little brake lock up there for Nikita. He'll over under him. This is a great fight up front in USF Pro. Johnson going to work here on Hunter Yaney through turn number 4. Look at this scrap. Now again, this is on the gearbox, super quick part of this racetrack. Yeah, Nikita thought about the inside, but checked up a little bit. Back through 7. Why not? 6 and 7 combo. Back over here to 8 and 9. This is good stuff up front. Simon Sykes still holding on to 3rd. And to be honest, he may not be in the worst spot if these guys get together. Big move down the inside this time here. Yaney does not want to give it up. Johnson to the inside. They're side by side coming through. Yaney's going to be able to drive through to turn number 11. Hunter Yaney not wanting to give anything up, trying to leverage all of his experience to hold off one of the true young guns in American open wheel racing right now, Nikita Johnson, as we know. A lot of eyes on this young driver here for Nikita. He's 15 years of age. Already a race winner last year at COTA in USF Pro, and he has finally gone around the outside. Book it. New leader, Nikita Johnson. Hunter Yaney did whatever he could to hold him back, but Nikita relentless. Man, that was a solid exchange for over a full lap. Johnson, I expect, going to check out now. I'm just going to say that right now. Again, he was 2, 3, 4 tenths, even more seconds faster than Yaney. I think maybe the story now is, can Simon Sykes close up? The Sykes have what it takes to make a close. He runs third, Clark fourth, Baptiste fifth, Denmark sixth, Escoto seventh, Brooks, Hughes, and Skeets capping off your top 10. Yeah, there's the lead stretching. We'll look at some lap times and some splits here now. I think Sykes potentially has the ability to close up a little bit here. You wonder whether or not Yaney may use the tires up a little bit there, trying to hold off Johnson. Lockie Hughes not done yet with Christian Brooks either. That's the battle on the right side of the screen there. That's Hughes in the 44. Still there on the gearbox of Christian Brooks, but that is for 8th and 9th. Not either of those drivers we expect to be on the grid. I think a lot of people looked at Lockie Hughes after being so dominant here in spring training, like he may be the driver to beat. And of course, coming out of the gate strongly at St. Petersburg, that definitely would have backed up that assertion. But again, as I say, every racetrack we go to, there are some teams that have maybe that setup, right? They're just a little bit better at this track or that track. Barber, they're better at Road America. Some teams have a great oval setup, as we know, right? And it's 1.5 points at the Freedom 75 and the Freedom 90. But there are just some drivers and some teams that have just that little bit extra when we go to a track. Mid-Ohio's a track I feel that happens as well. Drivers that are really good at Mid-Ohio, man, they're tough to beat because it's such a tough racetrack. VRD racing looking good here with Nikita Johnson. That second place finish yesterday, and the DNF for Lockie Hughes vaulted Nikita into a nice point lead, and he's looking to extend that here in race number 2. And man, if he keeps coming, he's going to be good in race 3 too. So it looks like we maybe have another driver off. I'm not seeing Tyke Durst back around. He may have gone to pit lane. We're putting lap 13 in the books. Yeah, so Jashelski off. I think Tyke Durst may be retirement as well. Tyke had a good run yesterday. Able to get himself up into the 11th spot, but not going to back that up here today. It sounds like, it looks to me like he may be in pit lane. I'm not sure what happened to Durst. Two drivers out, one not starting. 17 remain on the racetrack. Lead now for Nikita Johnson, over 2 seconds. As I said, I expected him to kind of jet away. 3/10 quicker than Yaney on that last lap. Yaney actually faster than Simon Sykes too, so he's been able to build himself a little bit more of a gap, but not by a ton. 0.6 of a second between Yaney and Sykes for P2. Sykes looks like he's dialed things back up a little bit here. Look how close he is now coming down into the braking zone. The Pabst Racing driver with the USF Pro Championship scholarship livery on the car, looking for his best race of the weekend, or race of the year so far. Simon top 10 yesterday, finished 10th. Definitely closing up here. Clark trying to do it as well. There's Baptiste. He's gone back with Sykes and Clark able to get by Nicholas Baptiste, who now potentially getting reeled in here by Jace Denmark. Oh, there's a move to the inside, little brake lock up. I think that is Denmark trying to get to the inside, but again, here's the side-by-side move. Who else is in the fight there? Well, that's Escoto. So those are the teammates. Denmark not able to get it done, but Escoto was able to go by Denmark. That's what it was. So now it's side-by-side again. BN Racing drivers through turn 5. Baptiste, Escoto, Denmark, Brooks, and then Hughes. I don't know that Escoto got through there or not. I think that might be Baptiste still holding the spot. I thought it was Denmark who went to the inside. It was actually Escoto to the inside of Denmark. BN driver's looking actually pretty solid here. Escoto's going to defend to the inside a little bit there. Denmark all over him. Again, watching this fight just outside the top four. That's 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. That's 4th. Here's 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Baptiste, or rather, Baptiste, Escoto, Denmark, Brooks, Hughes, Skeets. Sykes all alone there in the 3rd spot. Clark having another good run here to 4th. Weekend didn't cut off to a great start for Matt Clark, but that D-Force team has really dialed it in. P5 yesterday, running 4th here today. Again, as I said, came into the day here sitting 6th place in points, but tied with Frankie Mossman. Remember, Mossman's down the order right now, and I believe the 11th or 12th spot. So Clark has a chance to jump forward, although Yaney is ahead of him. Of course, Christian Brooks behind him by a little bit, as is Lockie Hughes. So could tighten things up a bit here. And Matt Clark, of course, looking to see if he can't improve on the championship standing here as well. Having a good run here so far. P4. First full season in USF Pro 2000. I think Simon Sykes continues to close here on Hunter Yaney. 3 laps to go. 3 laps remaining as we've worked our way nicely into the second half of this race. This is 2nd, 3rd, and 4th out of turn 13. Way up the road is our leader. Across the line, 3.4 seconds to lead for Nikita Johnson. Simply stretching away in this one. And as I said, folks, we'll go to victory lane, then a break. Those of you tuning in on the broadcast, we'll be back again. Our next show set to go USF Juniors. Likely firing that up at around 11:30, just before the noon hour. Back on the broadcast here for USF Juniors race number 2. We got to cap this one off with a couple more laps. Don't know if anyone's close enough to battle, at least here in the top 4. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. What happened to Christian Brooks? Brooks has gone back a little bit. Issue for Christian Brooks. He goes back to 11th. That moves Liam Skeets up to 8th, Hughes 9th, and Garciarce 10th. So something happened to Christian Brooks there on that last lap. Fell him outside the top 10 to 11th. Being potentially told a driver off in turn number 5. We'll see the white flag flying this next time by. White for Nikita Johnson. So if we get the white flag, that'll be it. Even if we go full course for the driver off, that will be it, because when they come back around. So this is essentially could be the run. If they decide to go to the yellow, this could be the run to the line here right now. The driver potentially off the track in turn 5. Everybody coming across here to get lap number 17 in the books. Johnson, Yaney, Sykes, Clark, Baptiste, top 5. Escoto 6th, Denmark in 7th. It looks like it may be Lockie Hughes off the racetrack for a second straight race. Are you kidding me? Tough one for Lockie Hughes as he's falling down the order. They have the yellow flag waving down there out of turn 4 over to 5. I don't see any. Oh, there he is there. Yeah, Lockie Hughes is off in the gravel. He is off in the gravel. Final circuit, yellow flag flying in that corner. This will be the final lap of the race. Yellow flag flying in 5. Hughes in the gravel trap. Final circuit as they work their way through 8 and 9. Nikita Johnson flat put a beating on him here today, did he? Able to get by Hunter Yaney and is stretched away. It was 3.6 seconds at the line. He is going to be unchallenged coming through the final couple of corners. We may have a fight for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, but nonetheless, Johnson getting it done. Point leader after a second place finish yesterday, taking advantage of the problems for Lockie Hughes, which continue here at race number 2. And he is celebrating already, coming up the front straightaway. Nikita Johnson will win race number 2 at NOLA Motorsports Park in a dominant performance for VRD Racing. Johnson with the win. 3.5 seconds the victory. Hunter Yaney again on the podium in second. First trip to victory lane, and the podium finish for Simon Sykes here at USF Pro 2000. A strong run to third for Simon, leading the Pabst crew. Matt Clark for D-Force Racing in fourth. Nicholas Baptiste over his teammate Ricardo Scotto in fifth. 5 different teams in the top 5. VRD, TJ Speed, Pabst, D-Force, and BN Racing. Scotto 6th, as I said. Jace Denmark 7th. Liam Skeets in 8th. Jorge Garcia-Arce in 9th. And Christian Brooks holding on for 10th position. Tough one, as we said, for Lockie Hughes off in turn number 5 in the beach. Mossman just outside the top 10, 11th. Ethan Ho 12th. Adam Fitzgerald 13th. Logan Adam 14th. Nicholas Montiero and Braden Eves wrap up the 17 drivers who made it the 18-lap distance. But again, that will cap things off for USF Pro 2000. We'll see these drivers work their way back and head down to victory lane. I'll be heading down there momentarily, but again, we're back here 11:30. Scheduled start time for USF Juniors, the broadcast for USF Juniors. We'll look at a call to fire the engines around 11:40, green flag at 11:45. So 11:30, join us back here, of course, on the broadcast. We're not done quite yet with this one, as we have victory lane celebrations, and I'm sure it'll be a very happy Nikita Johnson down there, scoring his second victory of the season. We had talked about the fact that we had 3 different winners to start the season. We don't stretch it to 4, as Nikita Johnson backs up that race number 2 win at St. Pete with a race number 2 win here at NOLA. 3 races on the docket. We'll see if he's able to get another one. Nonetheless, a strong drive for Nikita Johnson up front. Hey, listen, another one for Hunter Yaney to back it up for P2, and a big one for Simon Sykes. After, again, that wreck that he had in the opening race at St. Petersburg, he comes back here and ends up being on the podium. And you look at the standings for Sykes, 15th place coming into the day. He's going to put, 25 points on, so move him potentially. Yeah, I think he may luckily end up in the top 10, but maybe 11th or 12th. He's going to jump up a couple of spots for sure. Baptiste had a good run as well behind him. Nonetheless, some crucial points for Simon Sykes to put him back up closer to the order. Loses a little bit of ground still to Nikita Johnson, but closes on everybody else. So here comes the second place driver rolling in, waiting for the leader to find his way right into the middle of victory lane there. Hunter Yaney will park his car where it needs to be. There's Nikita driving her in. Nicely done for Nikita. We'll watch him get out of the car, take an opportunity to go for a quick commercial while I run down to victory lane to get things back and rolling here. Nikita, though, second win on the season. Big victory for the 15-year-old driver, man. There's a lot of eyes on this young shoe right now as he wins again. Yeah. 2 wins on the season for Nikita Johnson, the driver out of Florida. Stretching the point lead as well. He'll get out of the car. Folks, don't go anywhere. When we get back after a quick messages, we'll have victory lane celebrations and I'll have a chat with the winner, Nikita Johnson.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
And they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
start. It's my career's on the line. It's a chapter. I think everybody's goal is to win a championship.
All this year is playing together, making a good championship season out of
It's
it.
the reason to keep me alive and the reason to keep me pushing.
I mean, a lot since I can keep going up the ladder. All those champions and wanting to become part of that
The
list.
drivers are racing aggressive with me, I'll race aggressive with them.
The scholarship is incredibly important. It's obviously the goal for every driver.
I'm going to rewrite what happened last year in terms of that rivalry with him getting the best of me.
When you win a race, it's the best feeling ever. Field is stacked.
Hopefully this year we can have good luck.
Having the scholarship money to move up next year is really all I'm aiming for.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to victory at NOLA Motorsports Park. Another wild one there for the drivers in the USF Pro 2000 category, all part of this Continental Grand Prix. Time to get things on to bring up here. Finishing in third podium in USF Pro 2000 competition. Finishing in third for Pabst Racing, last year's USF 2000 champion. Great move on. Let's try to get closer, but not quite enough. The pole win. Two for TJ Sports driver. Second spot. Well done for Hunter. In race number 3 this afternoon. On the podium. This here, his second win. The winner for Nikita Johnson. Nikita, let's chat here really briefly first. I heard you talking when I got up here that the car was absolutely perfect. You kind of settled in, you started reeling in Hunter, and you were 3/4 tenths of a second faster.
We started on new, so I backed off. I fell back a little bit in the very beginning to 7th or 8th, and then once the tires came in, the car was a rocket ship. I want to thank Dan and all the VRD crew because it was super fast, and once I got Hunter, I knew that I was faster, and I wasn't going to battle super hard because I knew at some point I would get around him either if his tires would fall off or he would make a mistake. So I just kept going right there, and then I finally got him in turn 1. And then after that, we just kind of settled in and did pretty good laps maintaining the distance. But yeah, it was just kind of a cruise at the end.
You did have one lap where you guys were side by side almost the entire lap. How was that when you guys gave each other a lot of room, though?
Yes, sir. We have a lot for each other, but yeah, it was very fun to race side by side. You know, we never touched, maybe a tiny bit, but it was just super fun to race with him.
Who do you want to thank today?
Thank your team, my whole family for coming out, my mom, dad, Kai, everybody watching back home, everybody on the team for coming out and support, Zoa Energy, O'Maddy's, PSA Check, Tiger Precision Products, Lavu, and yeah, my dad, because he helps us.
That's it. Hop on top of the podium, Nikita. Congratulations. Great job. John, folks. Ready to the top of the podium, USF Pro rubber, fresh Continentals on it. But once they did, it's a second quicker a lap. From NOLA. Welcome to pull that car now, and we'll bring some champagne out for our top 3 drivers here: Johnson, Hunter Yaney, and Simon Sykes. So again, as I said, tuning in and watching on the stream, 11:30 scheduled start time for the broadcast for USF Juniors race number 2. Still a lot of competition, lots of racing still to go on the day. Guys, grab your champagne. Let's get to work. Grip it and rip it. Have the celebration here. Lots of racing still to go. Champagne flying. Nikita Johnson once again, folks, scoring victory here in USF Pro 2000, extending the point lead and looking to do more of that when race 3 comes this afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning into the broadcast, folks. It was an early morning qualifying for USF Juniors, race for USF 2000, race for the Pro 2000 drivers. Still more to come this afternoon, 11:30 scheduled start time. We'll re-get the broadcast rolling as we get back with the USF Juniors. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Again, we do appreciate it. On behalf of Anderson Promotions and Continental Tire, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.